Going to cue the we're gonna cue the intro music here. It's 2 minutes to midnight, and we're here with Disdonn, Steve, and FrostyNrd. We're gonna be doing a fun little sort of thing here. We're gonna be doing some doing some streamy, twitchy, podcastery things here. So first and foremost. Who wants to go first in introducing themselves?
That's a good question.
I don't care.
I mean, I'll probably go last because everybody knows me that's probably watching. But Steve, bro.
Oh, okay. I'm Steve. I've been on Disdonn's stream before, so some of you might have already seen me. I do
in Stardew Valley form, yeah.
Yeah, I do the news and politics section of this stream.
Don't worry, it'll be at the end, so that way those of you who don't care can disappear.
Yeah.
And what sort of things about you should these people know? I mean, outside of the fact that your child is probably going to wander in and start asking for hugs at any minute.
I get a lot of neck hugs, and I have rum and coke.
All right, bro, dude. What do you want to say?
Well, I'm Frosty, the nerd, the Nord.
The Nerd.
Known somewhere as FrostyNrd, so I'm not sure which account that was.
I call you that.
FrostyNrds.
It's my headcanon.
Of course. No, I'm going to be doing the entertainment / anime / music news of this program, and I'm just usually I'm Disdonn's IRL brother. Hate to be that person who says that, but you know.
Well, you know, I'm the older one, you're the younger one. We just kind of do things together. It happens.
Yeah. So sometimes I pop on his Stardew streams. I was playing Fortnite with him one time, back when Disdonn was playing Overwatch. That was before the Mercy nerf.
I don't think I've played Overwatch since the Mercy nerf. Mercy for life. Nobody can see me, but Mercy for life.
I don't know.
Also, Steve, Tabletop Steve, is the one who did our lovely little background that you've got here. He is the the large one. My bro is the orangey hair one, and we all know me. I'm the bearded one. So that's
Not
the way
for
that
nothing,
goes.
but are you sure we're live?
I'm pretty sure we're live. Are you on Twitch right now?
Yeah,
I
I'm
have a
looking,
Twitch. I have a Twitch thing open.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it, but I have functionally half a brain cell sometimes with this kind of stuff.
I mean, yeah, there is that. It says it's live on mine. This is where editing's gonna happen for later. But yeah, just /host me and it'll probably pop up.
Yeah. How do you? Which thing do you do that in your own chat channel or whatever?
Yeah, in your own chat channel. It'll probably come up as a lovely little announcement on my end.
I don't. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
There. I have no idea why I was hosting Nox.
Well, Nox is probably on. That's why. I don't know. He's got weird hours, man. Like, summer is his time because he's a teacher. If
It says it's live, but I don't see like the background or hear us talking.
I see the
from
background.
Twitch. I don't, but okay, it's working then. I just don't know what I'm doing on Twitch yet.
Oh yeah, I'm hearing you and seeing all that fun stuff. I think your internet just sucks, Steve.
My internet is awesome, actually.
Well, then maybe you just got a bad connection today. Sometimes it'll auto put you on, like, literally the worst portal for Twitch for you. Like, it'll say, oh, you're going to be, like, East Coast on this day and this time for trying to connect. And, oh, it's going to be overburdened, so you're going to have shit-ass lag.
I just honestly have no idea what I'm doing with Twitch, but...
Takes some getting used to. But yeah, alright. We've done their intros. I'm Disdonn, as you may know. I've been doing Twitch and YouTube for well over a year now. You know, this is something that we've talked about for what? How many months have we been kind of debating what the hell we're going to do with this? First it was going to be like a semi-am... Yeah, it's been... yeah. It's been
actually, I think we talked about this in college even.
I mean, yeah, but like as far as actually having the means to do it, more like the last 6 months to a year.
Crappy laptops and like a single. God, what even is the brand of that mic I used to have?
I don't even know. Probably Logitech.
I think it was Logitech.
Yeah,
all
I think when we were first talking about this, I had I didn't even have like a microphone for my computer at the time.
Yeah, that's the way that things go. But yeah, I've been you know, doing this thing for a while. We've been talking about, you know, doing a multi-person, like, weird once or twice a month podcasty talk show thing. So the reason why the background is what it is we were originally talking about, since I used to be in animation, me maybe doing like a sprite animated version of it, like with minimal animation, just kind of lips moving thing. But for now, it's just going to be a background and us talking. So maybe we might do webcams later. Maybe we won't. We'll see. But thanks anyone who shows up or watches this in the VOD format or listens to this on maybe SoundCloud or whatever. I got to get that set up once we do the editing for this shit. Craig, the lovely Discord bot, is currently recording us. Cheers, Craig. Cheers. But, yeah, so that's kind of our intros for now. We might expand how we talk about ourselves or others later. But first and foremost, recent events in gaming news. We got E3. E3 just happened a couple weeks ago. We had a lot of big announcements before E3. I know that me and Steve did kind of like our own little side stream thing that we were going to bring my brother in for, but he was doing errands.
Oh, yeah.
We were going over like...
Another thing that was covering E3, a YouTuber I watch was doing a live stream of that for the Ubisoft one.
Yeah, I was working that whole weekend, so I
know what Ubisoft game I'm excited for.
Which one are you excited for?
Literally only one of them, Black Flag. I mean, Skull and Bones, not Black Flag. Well,
Skull and Bones. Assassin's Creed Black Flag minus the Assassin's Creed. That's what it is.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what the game is. And do you need anything else?
I'm semi-excited for their expansion on Mario Rabbids with Donkey Kong. But yeah, that one looks pretty good.
Yeah, but that was that Ubisoft?
It's like,
oh yeah, that was in the Ubisoft thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Sea of Thieves type sort of thing, and
I don't
understand. Pirates are back in vogue. Pirates are totally back in vogue.
Pirates never went out of style. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? Pirates of the Caribbean stopped being good after the third one.
Okay, yes, but Pirates never went out of style. Pirates are awesome.
No, but Ninjas of Vampires are better.
Oh no. Gotta represent the pirate.
Well, I mean, you are drinking rum, and
do ninjas drink rum? No.
I don't know.
Vampires.
Anything else you were excited for, Steve?
I don't know. I don't understand why in the Ubisoft one they had live performers doing all these songs. Everyone in the chat I was in was just like, get on with it. Show us some game footage.
But, you know... whatever. Like, okay, so that's like literally the trope that's been happening the last couple of years at E3 is there've been weird ass live performances that usually have nothing to do with the fucking game that's being displayed.
It was dumb and they should feel
I know
bad.
that they're... Yeah, I know, right. they had a fucking Andrew WK concert thing, and they had like
Okay,
one for
I would have
DK,
watched
and
that.
I think that was for like the Xbox conference. Or was that PlayStation? I can't remember which
there's
fucking...
the PlayStation one had a couple of
weird-
relevant ones. There was somebody playing like the acoustic guitar or whatever.
Yeah, for the Last of Us,
That's
they
right.
were doing some weird background music for the cinematic.
And
mean,
then they
yeah, it
had
was
the
sort of
Ghost
related.
Of Tsukushima, they had this guy who was like playing this, I don't know, some sort of flute type instrument that he's like a grandmaster of or whatever. He's like one of the only grandmasters.
Okay,
right
if
now.
they weren't playing "Dying in Your Arms Tonight" by the Cutting Crew, they were doing it wrong.
I just died in your arms tonight.
You know that. Oh, they should have done that for like Army of Two when that came out.
Oh god.
No, my friend Dylan and I were in a bar where the TVs were down so low and they had the music so loud you couldn't hear the TV, and that's the song that came on when they had a commercial for that. So
I
you
mean,
have
it probably
this
would have worked for
guy, like,
Spec Ops The Line
carrying
too.
your
but-
teammate out of there, dying in your arms tonight.
Oh, great! Now I have a new project that I have to do for YouTube. I have to
Oh.
make that fucking commercial. Thank
Oh,
you.
God. The best part though is they had a football game going on and it kept changing. So if they had like a love song going on or something, and it was like a slow-mo when they were moving, Dylan and I could not stop laughing the entire time. We couldn't breathe. It was the only time in my life that we've ever just laughed so much that we were tired of laughing because it hurt to laugh so much.
Sorry to interrupt, but thank you, Drex, for the auto host. 11 viewers, man. Sorry that you're going to be watching this lovely little, podcasty thing, but, welcome. We're talking about E3 right now, guys. So we just talked about Ubisoft and how that weird Sea of Thieves clone or thing. What was that? What was the title of that one that you said?
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones. Yeah, we were just talking about Skull and Bones, and then the weird music for the for the performances, and then he got derailed by a thought about a lovely thing with a mutual friend of ours. So.
Oh yeah, it was funniest moment of my entire life. Like that is highlights.
Oh yes, the life highlights are great.
That is, I'm pretty sure, what Dylan would talk about at my funeral. Right
Let's
there,
hope
that,
so.
That moment.
Let's hope it's that, and not us drunk watching Brazil.
Oh god, that was fun too. We should get him on this one day.
If he has Discord, yes, then we can interview
don't
him about his
think he-
acting career.
Oh, I would love to ask him what the hell he has been in the past couple of years.
Oh yes, that would be great. We are eventually planning to have guests, so if you wanted to be a guest, DM me on Twitch or whatever. I'll consider it. But yeah, that was Skull and Bones was one thing. One highlight of E3. The horrible music was not a highlight, but it definitely was memorable.
It was
Right?
a low light.
It was a low light, but it was memorable. We'll probably remember that more than some of these games.
Oh,
Sad,
yeah.
sad but true. They did a little bit more. They did talk a little bit more about Pokemon Let's Go. Not a lot. Nintendo's thing was the one that I really watched multiple times and I know more about. PlayStation's was pretty good overall. They don't have a lot coming out. They have Neo 2. They have the basically Bloodborne in Japan, which I thought that's what Neo was anyway, but I guess the From Software crew is doing another game that's in Japan. It's like samurais.
I mean, why not?
I thought it was called Ghosts of Tsushima or whatever.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. It's basically Dark Souls in Japan.
Yeah, no,
Bloodborne,
but like,
Ghost
Neo
of
was made by
Tsushima.
a different developer, wasn't it? It was made by a
Neo,
different
yeah, Neo
developer.
was by a different developer, but it was styled on the Dark Souls Bloodborne style of gameplay. But yeah, like
There are a lot of like.
there's a lot of Dark Souls close now.
Ah.
Japan games.
Everyone wants to be Dark Souls nowadays.
There was another one by.
Hey, even Breath of the Wild has had moments of Dark Souls. It's called Master Mode, where the Lionel will fuck you up.
They did that in the original.
I know, right?
Those things, I think, hit harder than like anything else on the overworld map.
Ugh. Dude, like it's a real miracle when you beat a Lionel in Master Mode, even if you have to eat every last apple in your inventory to survive. Just nom 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 is terrible. But yeah, other highlights of Nintendo conference that I remember. Well, they had the thing that Ubisoft also talked about, the Starfight game.
Oh, the one that's like Star Fox.
Yeah, they got the Star Fox. They got the Star Fox for the Nintendo Switch version of it, but it's like
that's apparently going to be on every platform.
Yeah. Star Fox is only going to be on the Nintendo Switch version. It's basically like Skylanders, where you have your own little spaceship amiibo thing. It looks cool. Probably going to be expensive as fuck, so I probably won't be able to buy it. But, that's the way it goes.
You know what they should have done?
What?
They should have hoarded out Fox's dad and put him on every version.
Wait, Fox has a dad?
Oh god, you don't know this? Trivia tidbit. This isn't in Star Fox. His dad is one of the racers in F-Zero, who's a human.
What?
Wait, what?
I'm pretty sure his name's James McCloud. I could be wrong on that. I might have to look it up after the stream. But yeah, Fox's dad is in F-Zero.
What the flying fuck? That is something that I didn't know until today. Thank you, Steve.
This is why we're doing this.
Exactly. Gaming news and gaming info, I guess. That should be my segment.
I know lots of trivia.
Sony's thing, they debuted the Neo, the what the hell was that one again, bro?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
That
I knew Ghosts, but and they also did another long ass trailer that left nobody with any fucking information about the new Kojima game, Death Stranding. Still want to play it because it looks like it's trippy as fuck, but
I mean,
God only knows when it's coming out.
That's how I felt about all of E3. Was just, no new information.
Yeah, Square Enix, fuck them. I mean, bro, what did you like about the Square Enix section? Because I know you're the only person who gives a fuck.
More or less, I was more like focused on the Kingdom Hearts stuff because I was like, yeah, this is actually going to be a hopefully decent entry in the series. It looks amazing, but trailers are not.
I don't know, man. I actually really like Kingdom Hearts too.
Yeah.
So, bro, what part was I right about Kingdom Hearts? Tell the lovely audience what I was right about.
You were telling me that it wasn't going to be in this year, and you were right. I understand that. And it's like, apparently the release date is going to be right now, January 2019.
Well, with as ambitious as they seem to be going on Kingdom Hearts 3, I can understand the delays.
I mean, yes, I can understand the delays as well. It's just, everybody's been saying since January, Kingdom Hearts is coming out this year. Kingdom Hearts is coming out this year. I'm so super excited. I'm just like, it's a Square Enix game. When has Square Enix actually met a deadline in the last 2 decades? Never.
That's true. I still miss when they were Squaresoft.
The last time they met a deadline, they were Squaresoft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You got me there.
But
actually, I found out that they were one of the creators. I think it was Tetsuya Nomura was talking about it at in an interview, and he was saying that we revealed it too early. The only reason we revealed it at E3 of 2013 is that people got wind that we were working on it, and we wanted to predate the rumors in our announcement.
See,
makes sense.
That is literally the reason why they did some of these trailers before E3. Is because of the fact that the way that the internet is, and the way that all these people who are supposed to be given privileged information about games that are in development has been going. everybody's fucking known about shit 2, 3, 4 years before they have anything to show.
Man, yeah.
they
Gamers can't be trusted.
So they
with,
show
like,
literally, yeah, they can't be trusted.
information about like a big franchise coming out. That shit just slips.
So they literally get to this point where it's like, what the hell are we supposed to do? We just got to kind of cobble together a half-assed cinematic trailer to like say, oh yeah, we're fucking working on this thing. God knows when it's coming out, but everybody assumes that it's coming out the next year. They need to start with these games like that. Like, they need to do what they did with Elder Scrolls 6. I know that it got more pops than it probably deserved. Everybody knew they were fucking working on it, but the Elder Scrolls 6 was basically they did a remake of the Skyrim theme with basically a just cinematic shot of Cyrodiil. Just like, bruh. Just zoom in on the landscape. Looks like fucking Game of Thrones intro. Just like, Elder Scrolls 6, no subtitles. It's coming. Eventually. That's basically all they fucking need to do is say wiener.
Anyway, I want to go on record saying that what I want most from the Elder Scrolls series is Black Marsh.
Dude, that would be great. I think it might be. I'm not sure if it's an ESO.
About Black Marsh or elsewhere.
Is it an ESO?
They have the most interesting of the races in both of those locations.
I mean the Khajiit and the
Argonians.
Argonians, yeah.
Those are like my two favorites usually.
You can tell I haven't played Skyrim in like 10 fucking years. I can't remember the names of the fucking
character
Argonians.
Was an Argonian.
I always go Khajiit fucking rogue first and foremost.
Oh, that works really well in Skyrim. Yeah. Like, I love
I'm always
Skyrim.
addicted to fuck the skooma and become a vampire. I mean, come on.
I love Skyrim, but I do like Oblivion more.
Oh,
I like being a mage. In Oblivion, you can make your own spells.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yeah.
And Skyrim, it's for the Nords. They ain't mages. Even the mage quests in there, blah.
Yeah,
Magic was nerfed to hell in Skyrim.
Yeah, they need to really take the best of the last 3 entries of their series, plus what they've done well in ESO. Smash it together into a great single player with possible multiplayer drop in, drop out compatriots, and make the best fucking game that's ever existed for a large open world RPG. That's what they need to do for Elder Scrolls 6, and then just say, fuck it, we ain't doing another thing for like 20 years. And just keep making expansions to it. Like, seriously,
okay,
that's where we're at right now.
Buy an expansion?
$20 for another whole game's worth of fucking quests and content? Fuck yeah.
I mean, yeah, people still play Skyrim because there's still so much shit that they haven't done.
And then mods and everything else.
Oh yeah, I mean, you gotta have Macho Man Randy Savage as a dragon.
Ooh yeah!
Or Thomas the Tank Engine.
Toot toot!
Yeah. Yeah, the platform I'm most excited about Skyrim being re-released on is Alexa, actually.
God damn! What? Is a thing too.
Oh my god! Okay.
Yeah,
it was a fake commercial, but they actually fucking made the thing. Who was it? Peele from Key and Peele was an actor in the commercial, and they were like, Alexa, climb the mountain. Alexa, eat all the cheese, because he was in the fight with the dragon and he's got low HP.
Oh my god, I just had an idea. You know what would be the best freaking game you could put on Alexa?
Zork?
Zork, yes!
Return of Zork on the Alexa,
we had the same idea.
TTS, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Kill Troll. Kill Troll with what? Kill Troll with sword.
Oh. It doesn't go to private chat. Damn it.
Man, I would play way too much Zork if I had an Alexa, and Zork was on Alexa. Like, all the frickin' time. I mean...
My residents at my work have, like 3 of the houses have Alexas, and it's just... It's great to, like, just say, play the Beatles, or play whatever, and then it starts playing an entire artist catalog, and then, like, occasional songs from similar artists. Like, I play the Beatles, and then occasionally I'll get, like, some Sympathy for the Devil from frickin' the Rolling Stones come up, and it's like, yeah!
Okay.
4 a.m., fuck yeah.
Off topic, but which version do you like better? Rolling Stones or Guns N' Roses?
Rolling Stones.
I don't know. I mean, Rolling Stones is the original, but I freaking love Guns N' Roses. It's my favorite band of all time.
See, I am predispositioned to dislike Guns N' Roses that much because I was raised on Guns N' Roses.
Me
Bro,
too. That's why I love Guns N' Roses.
You can admit. What did Mom listen to most of our childhood? Guns N' Roses and Lenny fucking Kravitz, right?
Yeah, that and some Metallica or whatever.
Yeah,
with me it
early
was,
Metallica.
Yeah, with me it was AC/DC, Weird Al, Guns N' Roses.
And then you wonder why I love Sabbath so much.
And a bunch of one-hit wonders. My dad loves one-hit wonders, so I have them all.
Right on. Yeah, personally, I also will vouch for the Rolling Stones version.
Thank you, bro. 2 out of 3, we beat you.
Yeah, I am outclassed here, but I mean,
all
the
right.
Guns N' Roses one's still pretty sweet.
Back on topic, E3. We talked about Skyrim 6, but Elder Scrolls 6. Sorry, Skyrim 6. Fuck, they've done 6 Skyrims now. Probably even ports version.
Skyrim 6 now on the Alexa.
What's
Kill Skeever. Kill Skeever with what? Kill Skeever with sword.
What's the other thing that came out of the Bethesda conference that we all talked about?
It's the only thing is Fallout.
Fallout 76. Fallout plus what looks like base building / frickin' Borderlands.
Oh, God.
Who wouldn't four-man crew as raiders fuck shit up? Raise your hand.
I mean, that's exactly it.
That is what I wanted. That is everything I would want out of Fallout.
Some little news I've heard on this. Someone has now made a Fallout 4 mod adding griefing and random nukes.
Oh my good God.
For the new Fallout game.
Oh man.
That is trolling at its finest.
It's
right
PC
there.
only, isn't it? And I got it on PS4. Fuck my life. If you want, you can donate with bits or in my donation link, !donate, in the chat to give me money so that I can get Fallout 4 for my PC and get that lovely mod and fuck my own life up.
Or you can buy me more ROM.
That too. But yeah, that was the highlight of the Bethesda conference right there. I know they're
of E3 basically. That was the thing everyone was talking about.
There's 2 things everyone was talking about, and the other thing we'll get to. No, that and Smash. Pokemon was number 3. But no.
So we should do Pokemon first.
We'll get there. But no, Rage 2 was also announced by Bethesda, and that's where the lovely Andrew WK concert came in. They had him playing music from, I think, music that he's going to contribute to the game soundtrack. But it didn't. Yeah, he was awesome. He was rocking the fuck out. But there wasn't any gameplay footage behind him on the screen. And the entire crowd was just, because it's E3, most of it's press at these, these big reveal conferences. It's press and people who have enough fucking money or luck to get, seats.
Fun trivia fact.
The announcements. What?
Fun trivia fact. Andrew WK is a brony, and his favorite pony is Pinkie Pie.
Okay.
It all makes sense.
That's actually really cool.
That's
Party
cool as
pony.
fuck. That's
it's Andrew WK. I mean,
party. Sorry.
Exactly. And I mean, he hosted Destroy, Build, Destroy on Cartoon Network. The guy's all about partying and exploding things.
Yeah.
You think, I mean, what do you think? I wouldn't love the guy?
Dude, the guy's also classically trained. He is like rocked
he's
out on
talented.
fucking piano and fucking keyboard, man. He is like...
And he's just got a stage presence. Like, anything he's on, it's like, I know who this guy is.
I hate to say it, but I would love to see the concert where Andrew WK and Lady Gaga dueling pianos.
Oh my god.
That sounds pretty epic.
I know, right? One would be playing with fucking heels, and the other one would just be jamming the fuck out.
Okay.
I mean, holy shit, imagine that.
I need to add Andrew WK to my list of celebrities I want to go drinking with. But still, the absolute top of my list, as Frosty knows, we've discussed this at length, is Peter Dinklage.
Well, I mean, he is the god of tits and wine. I mean, come on. He's Tyrion fucking Lannister.
He's one of the most talented actors of our day. And I just want to party
And
with
he's
the
also short as fuck and able to not have a presence of a man the size of the mountain.
Dude, he gets more ass than, like, any of us combined.
I know, he's an awesome man. And if you could see it, I'd be cheersing him right now, but whatever.
Oh, hell yeah.
But yeah, like, Bethesda had the Rage thing with Andrew WK, and then there was also, God, what the fuck did Xbox... What did Xbox do? Oh yeah, they announced a fuck ton of delays. Crackdown 3, delayed. Halo, 6 or 7? Delayed.
Oh, God.
Eventually coming out, but delayed.
Yeah. I think we just
basi-
lost any of our Xbox fans in the crowd, but like...
I think I just
Seriously.
personally offended Fada, but I don't know if he's watching
I
right
bought a 360 for $100 from a friend of mine because he needed the cash.
now. And do
and
you
I had
regret
the
that
cash at the
decision?
time.
Do you regret that decision?
I played a little bit of Black Flag, and I bought like most of the Halo games. And then I had to move, and I haven't had a TV since. But even when I had it, I like barely played anything on it.
There's a reason why I picked up a PS4 instead of an Xbox One.
In
Even though my
opinion,
PS4 is currently collecting dust because of my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. In my opinion, Xbox is the Halo box.
Yeah.
I like Halo.
I'm sorry.
It's the best thing they've done for good or bad. I love the Halo franchise. Unfortunately, most of the other titles on Xbox are either also on other systems, and their exclusives are kind of lacking.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind
So,
it picking up their game.
yeah. Let's go into the other thing that actually matters then. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu / Eevee.
Okay, the first thing I
AKA the
have to talk
3D
about-
remake of Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah, okay, the first thing I have to talk about. So what is this nonsense about not being able to evolve Eevee?
That's a rumor. I've
Okay.
heard that it's yes, I've heard no, I've heard you can evolve Eevee in Pokemon Go into whatever and then trade it with your Pokemon Let's Go account.
Oh,
and
that's
get
other
those.
news I've heard. They've finally added trading to Pokemon Go.
And that's why, because they're going to be allowing you to trade with yourself so you can have your Pokemon Go Pokemon in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu / Eevee.
They screwed it up, though.
Oh, I know. They've got bugs that they got to fix.
No. It costs in-game currency to trade if
Wait,
you
what?
don't have the Pokemon in your Pokedex.
Wait,
Or if
what?
it's a legendary. Yep. At least this is what I've heard. I
It
hope
costs
I'm wrong.
Stardust, but Stardust is like, Stardust is just like you get it from everything. So.
Okay, but do you realize how much Stardust it takes to actually level up anything of value?
I mean, I guess, but
I mean, yeah, you can
That's
get it
kinda
from
fucked.
everything, but it's... Oh my god, Stardust is just such a pain in the ass, though.
It just basically adds more grinding, I guess, then.
Yeah,
Which is the last thing it needs.
Because it is all grinding all the
They
time.
have to have grinding, otherwise they can't charge for the same things in microtransactions and fun.
Yeah, and I mean, this is coming from me. Like, Pokemon Go is kind of unfair to people who don't live in cities.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you know
even
when
with
it
me,
came out, I was in Richville, population 300, middle of nowhere, fucking Minnesota.
Were there any Pokestops in Richville?
The churches. So
That's funny.
there were 4 total Pokestops.
And
The
they were
2
all churches.
the restaurant, and the local store was a gym. The gas
So
station.
basically, you could go and visit your entire family working at all those locations and have a fun day of it then.
Well, my aunt owns the restaurant, and most of my, like, first and second cousins work there, so kind
That's what
of.
I mean.
It's kind of the social hub of the entire town.
I mean,
I
I'm
did
just lazy as
totally
fuck.
drop some of the items there and just sat there while I was eating to flick the thing every 5 minutes.
I mean,
That was the only way I
actually
could get
go-
Pokeballs. I had to buy so many damn Pokeballs because otherwise it was a pain in the ass just to get enough balls to catch anything.
I know.
But
I have to walk
now I
across-
moved to an actual bigger place, so there's stuff everywhere.
Yeah. I have to walk across the busiest street in my city to get to the nearest Pokestop, or I have to walk 6 or 7 blocks down to the park.
Oh, there's one that's literally right next to my apartment that I can sometimes get from my bedroom.
That's cool.
Except I deleted the game to save space now. I mean, not enough people are playing that right now, but
Wow.
It's
You might want
another
to
trade-
get back
yeah.
into it if you do decide to get
if
the
I get a
Pokemon
Switch, I
for the
will.
Switch.
I mean,
What were you saying, bro?
Oh, yeah, now that trading is happening, a lot of my friends have been like just posting their trainer codes on their Facebook so that we can all just like my local friends or whatever, so we can just like have like gatherings and whatnot.
Just
Also, there's a gym right next to my house.
Just your friends?
I mean, for trading, trading actually you need to be next to the person. I found out.
Oh man, really?
that is dumb.
That is pretty dumb.
Yeah. But you can give gifts to anyone.
Somehow Pokemon Let's Go has turned into a Pokemon Go conversation. I don't know how that happened.
Well, because they're connected at the hip.
Kind
Yeah.
of. You also get the lovely $50, $60 Pokemon peripheral where you can have a lovely Pokeball that you can bring around and pet and whatever.
I mean, that thing is cool, but
Hey,
I mean,
considering that it
honestly,
comes
I
with
think
Mew, you're fucking gonna buy it, right?
this feels just like a scheme to try to get people back into Pokemon Go.
Pretty much, but whatever. Pokemon Go's an easy way for fat people to exercise. I mean, come on.
I don't wanna.
I have to walk 5,000 steps to evolve to open up this egg and figure out if I get another fucking Goldeen or not. Or is it gonna be a Rattata?
You do realize that Pokemon was Nintendo's effort from the beginning to get kids outside, right?
Fuck you.
I mean, as soon as they
Yeah.
have portable VR, this is going to be the thing. But can we talk about how it should have been Digimon?
No.
No.
Well, I mean, theme-wise, think about it. Like,
Yeah.
Pokemon, yeah, it's awesome, but the whole, you can only see them digitally with augmented reality. That seems
Yeah, that makes more sense with
exactly like a
Digimon, yeah.
Digimon plot right there.
As far as Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, what other function of the game are you most interested in there, Steve?
Well, for me, it all hinges on whether or not you can evolve Eevee.
What do
Really?
you mean? What do you mean, Steve? What other function of the game are you most interested in?
Oh, right, you can play with kids. The 2-player thing.
There we go. What did we talk about the last time we talked about this? We talking about multiplayer. two freaking controllers, freaking just go. And then
Finally.
you can also fight over the Pokemon while you're trying to catch them. Just like whipping your freaking Switch remote like freaking you're playing Mario Tennis Aces and sucking.
I mean, my kid already loves Pokemon. So, if I get a Switch, I definitely have to get that because she would love it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, basically, I mean, it's not Gen 8. Gen 8 is coming out next year. They have announced that. They haven't announced it. They haven't announced a title. They haven't announced a release date or any new Pokemon. But they have said that Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is a teaser. It's basically a test of what they're going to be bringing to us in Gen 8. It's a huge graphical overhaul. It's a console slash handheld Pokemon game that is going to revolutionize the series, and then we're going to get Gen 8 sometime next year. Probably next Christmas.
Quite honestly, I've thought about running a Fate game for Pokemon.
Dude, there's a Pokemon RPG, Pokeballs of Steelix, the Nerdy Show podcast, which has been on fucking indefinite hiatus for years, used a specific, like, basically a version of the 1.0 of My Little Pony RPG system.
Oh, the Ponies and Parasprites?
Yeah. Basically, Ponies and Parasprites, but for Pokemon. They kind of like were developed around the same time. A Pokemon RPG free-to-play system.
Yeah, I thought about running that. My plan would be, instead of starters, give everyone an Eevee, and then later have the professor give them a choice of their stone.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting thing. I've still got to work on getting around doing a Ghostbusters RPG. I've got all the shit for it on my end. I just need to get people. I just need to gift people some ghost die. Is basically it. Because it's all D6.
If you run
D6
that, I'm totally
and it's like a bunch of D6, and then you need a ghost die, which is like ones, twos, and ghosts. Ghosts being bad things happening.
Oh, I have blank dice. I could make one if you just show me what.
I'll have to figure it out. But yeah,
if you are running Ghostbusters thing,
there's also the cards for the equipment and shit. But those are also printable from the website. But yeah.
I mean, you know I love me some Ghostbusters.
But what's the other big Nintendo thing? The biggest thing out of E3 outside of Fallout 76? What is it, Steve? Tim? In unison?
Smash Bros. Ultimate.
And why is it so big, Steve?
Because every time they launch it, they have new characters.
Why is it so big, Steve? Have you seen the fucking trailer? Have you seen the 3-minute trailer that I posted like 5 times on Facebook?
No.
Everyone is here. Every past character. Ice Climbers, Young Link, Dr. Mario,
Dude,
everybody.
Loved Dr. Mario.
And so far, the two new confirmed characters are the obvious Splatoon ones, the Squid Girl, Squid Boy, and then they've got Ridley. Yes, that Ridley, the boss from fucking Metroid, is in.
Holy balls.
Playable. Unlockable playable, but playable.
How are they gonna run that?
The way it is that you start with basically a roster that's similar to the first roster of original Smash. And then you play the game, you unlock everybody, slowly but surely. There's different requirements for different characters, but basically it's going to be like a lot like unlocking Yeah, it's going to be a lot like unlocking modifications to your vehicles in Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, where basically
Or, like,
every time
they
you
gonna
race,
do, like-
every time you do things, you unlock a new character.
Are they gonna do like in Brawl with the subspace emissary type thing, story
I don't-
mode where you have to
I
unlock
don't-
them?
I don't know, but they basically said that pretty much everything you do unlocks a character. There's going to be, as of right now, there's 65 characters. There's also,
Holy crap!
I know, right? Mega Man's back, Snake is back, Cloud is back, Bayonetta's back. Third-party characters are, yeah, fuck. And then they've got the dark characters.
All right,
like they have
so-
the dark pit, and then like all
Okay.
the other similar characters. They've also got Daisy, which is like a dark version of Peach. So you can pick Daisy or Peach once you've unlocked them both.
Instead of it just being a color scheme this time.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
I mean,
about
they're going to
damn
be slightly
time
different,
Daisy is
and
in
then
Smash.
they've got a bunch of unlockable like assist trophies. Assist trophies actually count as kills now. And then
What?
you've got like you can kill an assist trophy, and that counts as a point.
I don't know if I like
what-
that, honestly.
And an assist, well, it's for competitive mostly. And then assist trophies include Bomberman and Waluigi, etc.,
Oh,
etc., etc.
Yeah, there's a question. Why the hell isn't Bomberman in Smash already?
I don't know. Probably because he's an assist trophy. Fuck it.
I mean, yeah, he has been, but he would have been one hell of an awesome character to add to Smash.
I don't know. He's probably one of those ones where it's like, what are we gonna do with Waluigi? He's basically Luigi, but Wario Luigi.
I would play Waluigi.
There's a
Waluigi's
fan
in
theory
everything
that I saw.
else. Oh yeah, I saw that one too. You tell it, bro.
Apparently, someone was like analyzing the original Smash Bros. Game, the final boss, which was Master Hand or whatever, and then like extrapolated it into Waluigi's hand. Like, of course, it was Photoshopped and everything, but like it's like a theory or whatever. Yeah, Master Hand was Waluigi all along.
Oh,
That
I'm
would be
sure-
hilarious.
I'm sure you guys have already heard the theory that there is a storyline to Smash, and the story is that it's just an autistic child playing with their toys.
I mean, isn't that basically a Lego Movie, but Smash
Yeah.
Brothers?
Basically,
Excuse me, that's actually canon.
it
If you
is.
had ever watched the video for the intro video for the original Smash and the N64,
Oh
they're
yeah.
they're taking the toys out of the toy box. It's not a fan theory. The autistic part is probably a fan theory.
That is fan theory part. Like, basically, he starts with just really liking Nintendo as his thing, and then with each new generation, they bring in some characters from other franchises. Mega Man from Capcom, etc., etc. Just slowly building his horizon, but keeping with the things he already enjoys. Until now, it's this new generation, 65 characters.
That's a
Holy
lot of
ball.
fucking characters,
Holy ball.
man.
So
Like
here's
I
what
saw
it is.
part of
Okay,
the
guys,
tournament
guys,
on E3,
guys.
and holy fuck, was that some
Guys.
prime pro play?
I have to ask this question since we're talking about Smash Bros. Everybody, who are your top three?
Are you talking about mains or are you talking about like
Yeah.
favorite characters?
Your top three mains in any Smash Bros. Game. You can, mix and match.
Well, I'm horrible because I haven't really played anything except for occasionally playing Melee when I was in college. So I really don't have, outside of the original Smash, mains. But from what I've seen, I would definitely go Ness is my number 1, Pikachu number 2, and then Bayonetta number 3.
Villager, Kirby, DDD in that order.
I like Mega Man, Little Mac, and Captain Falcon, I'd say, are my big ones I usually use.
Falcon
Oh,
Punch!
The ones
I
with
love me some
no,
Captain Falcon.
the ones with no edge game.
He
I
is
mean-
not an edgelord, that's for sure.
I mean, let's just admit it. Most of my deaths aren't anyone killing me. They are falling off an edge.
Well, yeah. True that. But those,
No,
that's
my-
pretty
my-
much E3 in a nutshell, isn't it? Like, it's basically Fallout 76, Pokemon, and Smash. And oh yeah, Spider-Man's still coming out, and it's amazing. It's the best Spider-Man game ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you-
but
did you
so
see the
God of
stuff
War,
about-
Dad of War is still the best God of War game ever too. But that's just because it's a new generation and they put enough time, effort, and money into it. Big fucking whoop. It's not
Yeah.
revolutionary. It's basically Batman Arkham fucking Knight, but
Kratos,
not without.
Arkham
But
Asylum.
pretty much, it's Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, but with Spider-Man as the Spider-Man game. And oh my God, it's canon because there's gonna be a comic related to it. Fuck it, whatever. So is Spider-Verse.
Did anyone else see stuff about Cyberpunk 2077?
I've
Whoa.
seen stuff
What?
about that, but CD Projekt Red, like, I wasn't into The Witcher, so I'm not nearly as, like, my dick is hard about this as everybody else. So,
Yeah, I haven't played Witcher either, honestly.
I really like the Witcher games. Witcher 3 I've been playing off and on for... since
I know they had a card game in it that kind of took off on its own,
Gwent!
which I haven't played, but like, I mean, yeah, this coming from the guy who put more time into Triple Triad and Final Fantasy VIII than I did the entire rest of the game.
I mean, it's possible. It's plausible.
Dude,
for
that
anyone
game
to
was
do that.
fun.
Oh, it was.
They should have came out with Triple Triad cards as a tie-in to Final Fantasy VIII, and I think it would have sold better.
Yeah, it probably would have been better. It probably would have been better received in the game, I tell you that.
Oh yeah. I mean, wait, there was a plot to Final Fantasy VIII?
It involves Skul being dead, but yeah.
I thought it involved collecting the cards and beating everybody on every continent.
Alright,
I think
it's
it's
been about...
probably the #1 most convoluted plot in the entirety of the Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I've heard
story.
the whole weird Skul is dead nonsense.
Even without that, it's convoluted as fuck. It's almost like if you don't count Final Fantasy 13's trilogy, it's the most complex and weird and whatever else plot. I guess
I'm
you
gonna
can't
take
count
this
Final
place.
Fantasy 13 because
You guys
it's
talk
a
about
game.
Final Fantasy
don't
VIII or
know
whatever.
why the series just kind of went off the rails after 7.
I really enjoyed 9.
9 was fun. 9 was like a callback to the roots. But a lot of them after that just kind of... Like, 8 was the start of the really nutty stuff.
Yeah. although the battle between like at the Hollow Bastion stuff that was going on in Kingdom Hearts 2 grossly oversimplified Sephiroth's relationship to Cloud. Like they just like there's like I'm you. That's really all you're gonna say about that. With the
I liked
convolutedness of
Dissidia.
every other plot in Kingdom Hearts. No.
It's just kind of funny how the entire Final Fantasy franchise started with the original Final Fantasy story. We have to beat, Garland. Oh, now he's Chaos. We gotta save the timeline. Still a pretty standard RPG plot. And, like Final Fantasy VI. Pretty standard. 7 had a pretty good story, but still pretty standard RPG fare. 8 was just, wait, what?
Yeah.
9, kind of back to the roots, a simple story.
About crystals. Or something.
Yeah, it's go back to the whole thing with the crystals and the typical, save a princess kind of stuff. Then 10, starting to go back to the what category, and everything past that has just been like, huh?
I thought Final Fantasy 12 was Star Wars.
I mean, Final Fantasy 12 is Star Wars, but semi-medieval?
Medieval Star Wars.
Because it was basically the semi-sequel to Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, and they had some callbacks
Tactics.
That's some callbacks to Vagrant Story as well.
I know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hated Tactics for all the right/wrong reasons.
What?
Number one, no. Like the gameplay, great. Story, great. But do you remember that lovely spot about midway through the game where you go into a place and then you
I think
basically
I know
have
what
the
you're
two
talking about.
boss fights that are back to back, and if you fuck it up, you can't go back to grind. You have to
Yep.
start the game over.
It's like the first boss of the main like Zodiac type guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that is what caught me
I
fucked.
Screwed that up so bad too, and had to
I
restart.
never beat Final Fantasy Tactics because of that. Because I had to restart so many times, even knowing that was coming. I kept fucking up my grinding because I kept getting random characters killed and having to bring them in and spending so much time and energy. That was a flaw on their part of making it so that you couldn't go back to grind once you realized, no, I'm not strong enough to do these 2 fucking boss fights in a row. It was like a boss rush, and you got no warning.
Yeah, I know what you mean there. That was hell.
Yeah.
It got easier after that.
I know it did. I know it did. I've seen people play it. It's just
Which makes me think that really was just a dev mistake.
pretty much.
But
yeah, I'm sorry that the gaming news stuff went so long this time.
Yeah, holy crap! I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it's been like 45 minutes of it. But you know what? We're talking about the fact that it was E3 this month. So I mean, next month it'll probably be 20 fucking minutes, if even. We'll probably just dive into some what fucking retro game do we love the most discussion just to fill out the time. But bro, you had a lovely thing that you brought into our little private chat that you were talking about that Steve didn't even know about until today.
That's why this is gonna be fun.
Apparently, there is a Sonic the Hedgehog live-action / CG movie in the works. And there's some interesting little tidbits about it, plot that people have been revealing or whatever. Apparently, the new Sonic in this movie is supposed to be like, from like what they had shown to somebody, a juvenile delinquent outrunning local policemen or whatever. Like,
I mean, that kind of goes back to the old cartoon at least.
Yeah, like it's basically just like running away from whatever, but I guess the authority figure.
Breaking the law.
Sonic was always running away from the law because Robotnik kind of was the law.
I mean, I guess if you think about it that way, yeah.
But you didn't even tell them the best part of your own news.
The best part is that Jim Carrey will be the voice of Dr. Robotnik. Or,
oh boy,
I'm not sure which one they're calling him this time.
Dr. Eggman, Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik. They'll just use the full fucking name.
Yeah, probably.
God, I don't know, man. I've been playing like the Sonic games and stuff since the original Sega. So it was always Robotnik when I was growing up. I don't know.
Same here, man. Same here.
I don't know what this Eggman crap is about.
That started when? In Sonic Adventure or what?
The first Sonic Adventure game, yes.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I think it's just basically them calling him a nickname based upon the way he looks.
That's fat shaming.
Well, you're only offended because you are fat, so...
I mean, you could also have attributed that to like the whole. They didn't want people misusing the name Robotnik because everyone said Robotnik. That's not exactly child friendly, or is it? I don't know.
That was even in the TV show at least once, wasn't it?
I do remember that. And I guess they were just going to be like, oh, let's not call him Robotnik anymore. Let's call him Eggman.
Blah.
And then he can cross over to Mega Man as Eggman. Where he shoots eggs out his butt.
I mean...
Okay, full circle. Okay.
Oh man, that whole death battle thing with Wily versus Robotnik. I disagree with them so much.
I mean, I do too, but, you know.
Well,
that's the way it
it's
goes.
not just a fanboy thing. If you look into the canon in the games on the official cards in Mega Man and Base, and then you find out that Heat Man, I think it was like 9,000 Kelvin that his fire weapon can go up to, and you're telling me that Heat Man couldn't just melt through every single thing Robotnik made?
I know, right?
I'm sorry, they didn't do their research on that one particular episode.
But yeah, like, basically, they're going back to the old, like, Sonic Underground, Sonic, not the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, but the original, like, Sonic the Hedgehog with the plot, cartoon, where it's, like, Sonic versus Robotnik. Robotnik runs everything. He's kind of like a freedom fighter, breaking the law, all that shit. But it's going to be, like, CG live action. It's coming out next year. We don't know a lot about it, but
Yeah, well, like I was saying, the recent Sonic games have been going so close to, like, anime humans and having real humans in with Sonic. So doing a live, like, a live Sonic movie where Sonic is animated kind of seems like a natural next step. It's not going to be as, like, weird and out of place as, like, the Garfield movie.
Or Sonic 06, which was basically, let's persona Sonic here.
Yeah, that was kind of like, wait, what's going on here? There's humans? I thought Robotnik was, like, one of the only humans that exist. It's like, okay, there's other humans. Why have they not been here till now? What's going on? I'm scared.
Yeah, there was actually one of the other games that was on the Wii, Sonic and the Black Knight, that also dealt with a lot of, like, human...
Wait, somebody actually played that?
Yeah.
Game Grumps did.
No.
Yeah, Game
They
Grumps
raged,
did
but they
that.
did.
Let's just all admit, Sonic has not had the best reputation since Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Like, most people I know who've played that say that that was one of the best Sonic games. But it seems like the series kind of fell off the radar after that. It had a lot of flops.
Sonic Mania has been awesome, but that was mostly a retread of all of the, like, 1 through 3 plus CD levels.
Yeah, so Sonic's going back to its roots, and I am fully for that.
That is the way to go with Sonic. Just like Mega Man 11, and 9, and 10. Go back to your fucking roots, Mega Man. Do it. Do it.
Yeah,
Do it now.
There are just some platformers that cannot successfully translate into 3D. Mega Man and Sonic are the ones that come to mind first, yeah.
However, Mario did perfectly fucking fine. Mario 64,
And-
everyone fucking loved. Mario Odyssey, fucking amazing. Sunshine, fucking amazing. Galaxy
Okay.
1 and 2, pretty good.
And, okay, speaking as a Mega Man fan, I just don't think that Capcom knows how to translate Mega Man 3D.
Hell,
Because
hell.
Legends was an awesome game. One of those that's forgotten to time. But I think that if they did a game with the, you know, just kind of like Legends, but add in Robot Masters and let you go wherever and select them in whatever order, but still have it 3D, then it would have done really well.
So you're saying that fans would probably do a better Mega Man game than Mega Man?
Fans have made a lot of better Mega Man games than Capcom. The
Like
problem
Mega
is
Man
that
Maker.
Capcom hasn't given a shit about their flagship mascot for the longest time.
Just like Konami has fucked over Castlevania and Silent Hill for the last decade.
Well, yeah, that's because they realize there's more money in pachinko now than in their actual game.
I'm sure that Metal Gear Solid is next.
Metal
Gear Solid is already. They came out with Metal Gear Survive, and people really hate that one.
I think they all.
My one friend,
Metal Gear Pachinko, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, my one friend, Zombie Dan, he played Survive for like a week and loved it, and then grew to hate it.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot, you know.
It was one of those lovely games where it's like, I'm gonna play it every day for a week. Oh wait, I'm never gonna play this again.
And should we talk about the big elephant in the room when it comes to Capcom and why I'm not happy with them for the past 10 years or so?
What do you mean, Street Fighter?
What elephant in the room?
QuickTime events.
Oh, I mean, they didn't have nearly as many in
like those. Just like they came up with that idea, started putting it in every game. Like, I was playing Dead Rising, hadn't died a single time, then got to the boss fight that's all QuickTime events, and suddenly had 30 deaths.
Yeah, like...
That was bullshit.
RE7 didn't have, like, a lot of those, but the ones that were there, like, especially the ones that involved your, like, wife and, like, her weird, like, half-zombie version... That was pretty fucked up, how, like, you'd usually die more times there than anywhere else.
Well, like, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 4 was probably, I think most people would agree, the best Resident Evil game.
But the QuickTime events
yeah. You'd be having a blast when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, press all these buttons, oh, you're dead. Go back to the last checkpoint. What? Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing that came out of nowhere. They weren't like the first people to do it, but they were pretty early on. Pretty early on and most annoying, yeah.
Oh,
there was actually a game that came out like on the PS3, Xbox 360 generation called Asura's Wrath. It was basically Capcom published it. Apparently, it was basically a boss rush sort of Dragon Ball Z stylized game that was completely made up of QuickTime events.
The game looked beautiful, but once I saw that it was all QuickTime events, I'm like, fuck this game.
If we're being honest, I guess I'd have to give the credit for QuickTime events to Dragon's Lair.
Yeah,
what? You cut off to what?
Dragon's Lair, the old arcade game.
Oh, yeah.
That game was QuickTime events, but it had to be. It was a really old game, and they were trying to basically make it a movie/game all at once.
Oh, yeah, that was Don Bluth's fucking magnum fucking opus, man. That was amazing animation.
But I mean, yeah, that's the thing. You knew what you were getting into when you started playing the game. You weren't playing a game that was mostly a shooter, and then out of nowhere, dodge this boulder and don't die.
Yeah.
I mean, even if the QuickTime events were just, oh, you fail this, you lose a little health, that'd be okay, but these instant death QuickTime events are bullshit.
Fuck
yeah. That's true. That's my least favorite part about the new Tomb Raider games, is that they had those.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, how is the industry so detached from its fans that they don't realize how much the fans hate QuickTime events?
EA.
I mean, people need to just go to EA with signs saying no more QuickTime events and just launch a protest.
EA is the pioneer of QuickTime events and microtransactions and loot boxes, right there.
I don't even mind the loot boxes as much as the QuickTime event.
Apparently they had loot boxes back in, like, what, 2012 with some weird fucking FIFA game or something?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably in a minority here, but I kind of get where they're coming from with the loot box. As long as they're purely cosmetic and, what's really the harm? They need to make back
as long as they're basically
money.
Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch does it well. A few other games have done it well. You know who fucks it up? Team Fortress 2.
You know who also fucks it up? Battlefield 2. The new one, not the original N64, because fuck naming and numbering conventions. We're just gonna start over because it was the N64. Fuck it.
Even Star Trek Online really fucks it up because they have, complete starships you can get in loot boxes that are better than the standard ones.
That is wrong.
Which, I mean, a lot of them you can buy in the store for a lot of money. And I hate to admit it, but I have bought some of those for a lot of money. I was really into Star Trek. But
I know you were. You were trying to get me to play it like for a good couple of years, as
and
you did with DC Universe.
Should. Like, really, the only
Enter
reason
the segment of where Steve tries to get me to play games.
Everybody, play literally any MMO with me. I'm bored. No one here plays MMOs with me.
You hadn't asked me to play WildStar in a couple of weeks.
Because I didn't want to be that guy with the harassing you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to or when you'd work, but yeah. Speaking of that, if you want to play WildStar sometime, sure.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get into it again. I've been doing some other things.
Yeah, hey, Kutsu.
Oh, hey, Kutsu, come play WildStar with me.
No, I just saw him pop up, the only thing that's not one of the bots.
I know. Hi, Kutsu. How you doing?
But,
this is our new thing that we're going to do every once in a while. We're doing a podcasty thing.
We're
almost to the horrible part.
For everyone who probably doesn't understand the obvious, in the Discord, this segment here is what was marked secret area for the past few months.
We've been working on this shit behind the scenes. Don't worry about it. Also, hi, Kutsu. Sound effects still work, by the way, but they'll only be for this version and maybe the YouTube version. So you can horror those out as much as you want. Once a minute. Whatever.
See if that works.
Did I add that one yet? Hang on, 1 second. I don't think I've added that one.
You dick.
I recorded it, but I don't think that I've added that one.
I earned it.
You've earned it. Hang on. I will add it right now. Just, you guys talk about it.
I mean, we could, but...
I don't know. There was another thing I was going to mention that was not gaming related or whatever. But it's kind of an interesting little story that I've been following for a while. Apparently, Yuri on Ice is getting a full-length anime film.
What?
Yeah.
Try it again,
I haven't
Steve.
even heard of this.
Yuri on Ice, you know, the anime that's the ice skating, figure skating anime?
Believe it or not, I haven't heard of it.
You never heard of her, Yuri on Ice? It's great. It's very
Talk
creative.
about Yuri on Ice now, bro. I have seen a couple episodes, parts of it at least, and it is a very interesting sports love anime.
It is very well done, animation wise. They did a lot of research.
It is haiku, but have you ever heard done haiku or whatever, the volleyball one, and then make it about ice skating?
I know Japan likes to do a lot of sports-based anime.
I was
like
raised
Prince
in a
of
brewery
Tennis.
and I turned out
Honestly,
fine.
almost everything is anime at this point. I mean, they had one for Go.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
remember-
right.
I remember when that was in Shonen Jump. I was actually really enjoying it.
Yeah. I think they have one for rugby now. They have a couple for basketball.
Food Wars, fuck yes.
Oh
Food
yeah,
Wars,
and
like
talking
cooking-
about food,
cooking
Yakitate
version.
Japan.
A cooking version of a sports anime.
I still haven't watched Yakitate Japan. A friend of mine recommended it to me years ago.
I'm still gonna watch Dragon Maid though.
Well, if you're into the weird food anime, you need to watch Yakitate Japan. Because from what I understand, it's like an over-the-top epic anime about making bread.
Wait, hold on.
So it's like
So I'm going to be allergic to everything that they make. Therefore, I'm going to want to watch it and get my mouth watering and want to poison myself.
I
Okay.
think the point of it is that it's over the top as hell.
Okay, I've got that in my list because apparently my girlfriend's favorite niche subgenre of anime is food.
Oh,
And she doesn't really like the Food Wars though because it's overly
Too
sexualized. or whatever.
sexualized. There's too much nipple grabbing and shirtlessness.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude,
So
that's half the reason why I watch Food Wars is all the naked men. I mean, what?
I mean, I would watch it for that too, but no. There was another one that came out a couple of years back called Waka Kozake. It was a short form anime, basically like these 3 to 4 minute episodes, where it's just this working sort of office girl was just basically going to different restaurants and getting different food. And that's basically the episode, and it's got a little bit of character development, but it's mostly just the food porn.
alright guys, so since we're talking about anime, I'm mostly caught up on My Hero Academia, except for yesterday's episode I haven't watched yet.
I haven't watched any of the new season. Don't spoil a fucking thing, you son of a bitch.
You haven't watched any of the new season? What?
No, I've been meaning to binge the fuck out of that season because that's how I watch
Do
TV
it.
now. Because
Do it.
okay, real talk. I was like a season or two late on My Hero Academia. I literally watched the first season in 3 days, and then the second season came out on Hulu, and I watched that in like 2 days. So I will literally once this season is over, I will watch every fucking episode in like a day or two. And if it's how many more episodes are left? Because if it's done before I'm done with my overnights, I can probably watch it all in like 1 week's worth of overnight shifts and be like good.
I can't imagine that there's that many left, but I can just.
All right,
link
I'll start
you
watching
and you
it tomorrow
should
night.
catch-
I'll start
Yes,
watching
you
it
should
tomorrow
catch up
night
because-
because it's on Hulu. Subbed is on Hulu. For once, it's not only exclusively Crunchyroll, so Hulu's getting them on time as well. I don't have Crunchyroll because why would I have Crunchyroll for literally the one anime a year that I fucking watch? When it comes out.
Okay. I'm not gonna. In that case, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I will say this has been my favorite season of the entire thing.
Are you fucking kidding?
It finally picks up and just runs with it. Oh my god!
These words before.
1
but
second.
I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond. Plus.
That's just for the stream version.
Okay.
I did my plus ultra. That's I love that scene in the end of fucking season 1 where he's just like, go beyond plus ultra. It's like, fuck yes. Like literally every time I play Friday the 13th and I become Tommy Jarvis, aka basically their version of All Might, I'm just like, never fear, for I am here. Because fuck yes, he is. Yeah, eat this hair. I am going to kill Jason for you.
Oh my god.
I get super heroic, and it's just like fucking terrible because I die right away anyway. Jason is OP as fuck.
You're a terrible All Might.
He's not invulnerable. He still dies to Jason throwing darts at him.
I do want to know one thing. Like, does Deku cry less?
Yeah. No, probably not.
No.
Because, like, from what I understand, like, Deku is basically just like, from what I've watched, the male version of Usagi from Sailor Moon.
You mean
that's like the only thing I don't like about this anime is that Deku he like cries every episode.
okay?
It's like, come on, man, you've got the best superpower in the anime now. So you're just gonna sob at everything. I thought you were I thought your goal was to smile through all adversity.
Steve,
How?
Steve, why do I love My Hero Academia so much? Because I am Deku. I am the weepy motherfucker who's supposed to be the goddamn hero, and I'm just crying all the time.
I feel that.
I mean, yeah, I kind of.
You see it, don't you?
Okay, yeah, that's about my opinion.
Yo, that's me. I am Deku.
I don't know which of the
I'm
characters
so
I
happy
would be.
/ sad, but I'm the best in the world, I swear.
Yeah, I have no idea which of the characters I would be.
You'd be Froppy.
I think I agreed with you that my wife would probably be Froppy.
I mean, probably. If not her, she'd be the invisible girl who's like 90% not even in the show.
I could see that too. Yeah. Oh my god.
Invisible girl is best girl.
But I could also see her be Froppy, just like there in the background, and then just says something deadpan. Just take the piss out of everybody. She does that.
God, we have like completely and utterly ruined our schedule for what we were supposed to talk about. Because Tim's section went from 5 seconds of us talking about Sonic to fuck yes anime, and then it's like
that was
mini
the thing.
wicked anime discussion.
Well, that was the thing, is his section was kind of the thing he had prepared was the Sonic thing, but then after that he said, "Hey, I have this anime stuff which still falls under his section, and we're still discussing it."
Yeah.
I mean, I did have it prepared. It was just that I wasn't sure how long the Sonic discussion was going to go, and if that went too short, I was going to throw this one in.
Yeah,
I mean, that works fine. And now we've got roughly half an hour-ish to talk about what Steve's going to talk about. And before we talk about what Steve's going to talk about, thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you, Commander Root, for the follow. And big disclaimer, we are all progressives here. We are sorry that we're going to trigger the fuck out of anybody who's not. But this is all our opinions. We're trying not to get Twitch banned, trying not to get into too much trouble, but Steve, take it away.
But Steve is going to probably get us in trouble because Steve can't keep his mouth shut and is about 4 drinks in.
I'm about almost 1 liter in, so yes, I understand.
Let's see. Okay. So let's see. Going back to where I was.
Something blimp. That's where we were going to start, wasn't it?
I'm gonna go in the order I posted them in the secret area.
Oh god damn no.
So to start out with the progressive news here.
This is all politics, by the way, so just if you want to disappear, go right the fuck away.
This is also the news section, but so much politics stuff happened this week. I was surprised how much crap happened this week.
Oh,
it just exploded.
We live in the United States of we are done fucked America, and so we apologize that this is so much politics and not just regular general news.
Full disclaimer / story behind the background and the title of the stream. The reason it looks like a post-apocalyptic hellhole and why it's called 2 Minutes to Midnight. Well, 2 Minutes to Midnight is a reference to the Doomsday Clock, which is currently at 2 minutes to midnight. And it looks like a post-apocalyptic hellhole because we live in the United States. And so much bad shit is going on every day here right now. Though I hear the UK is having quite the giant clusterfuck over there as well. But I have nothing about that at the moment.
Did you read what Kutsu just said? Politics and drinking can't go wrong.
This is why I love Kutsu so much.
We love you, Kutsu. You're the best.
Yeah, you're the best.
So, to my story. A top House Democrat lost his primary to a socialist. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez beat the number 4 ranked corporate Democrat, Joe Crowley.
So basically, you're saying that a mixed race socialist woman beat an old white man who's been in politics for 20 plus years, who claims to be a Democrat, like our lovely Colin fucking Peterson, whom, well, I don't know if now that you've moved, I don't know if he's your representative or not, but he's been my representative for most of my fucking life.
Yeah, Colin Peterson he needs to go down.
Dick tits, and he's not even a Democrat. He's just like Heidi fucking Heidkamp. He's Democrat only in name. He votes Republican 90% of the fucking time.
We call those dinos. Democrat in name only. Also because they old. Yeah.
Democrat in name only, but also they're old fuckers.
So, the deal with this is she is a Latina woman. Mm-hmm. She's of Puerto Rican descent. And so the mainstream media is currently just saying, oh, her area is all, well, they're mostly Hispanic, so that's why she won. But no. Like, TYT covered her over a year ago, as well as Jimmy Dore and other progressive networks.
TYT being the Young Turks, which is somebody whom Steve wanted to kind of model us after when we were originally discussing the outline for this.
I mean, I know some people aren't big fans of them. Which, I mean, I'm a fan of the Young Turks, but I can understand why people aren't always so big on them. They switched to Hillary in the primary. I have to say, though, I am the biggest fan of Jimmy Dore out of everyone there. And watch his stuff, like, whatever he posts on YouTube, but that's neither here nor there. So, the mainstream media had no idea who this woman was, even though all the progressive networks have been talking about her for over a year. And, but she was funded by the Justice Democrats, which was a group that Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks helped found in the beginning, after the 2016, shit show.
Shit show is probably the best way to put it. Yes, indeed.
I mean, we don't have enough time to get into the whole 2016 thing. I should probably make my
that'll be like a private, like, non-streamed episode in and of itself
about it and rant for an entire hour on the entire subject, because there was a lot. But the thing
there was so much that I voted third party for the second presidential election in a row. But that's neither here nor there.
But yeah, so they're saying that she just won this because she's of Hispanic descent. But she knocked on, I think, like 10,000 plus doors, and has been doing this for the last year and a half or so.
See, that's the way to build, a reputation.
She went full grassroots on this. And I can't understate the fact that she beat the number 4 ranked Democrat in the country, who outspent her. Here's the thing. The conservative estimate is that he outspent her 10-1. Some people are going as far as to say that he outspent her 15-1, and she still beat him. And they're making every excuse in the book and trying to figure out who this woman is on the mainstream media, and saying that no journalists covered her at all. Who is she? She came out of nowhere. Except in the progressive scene, people know who the hell she is, because they've been covering her for over a year.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, I am excited about this win. This made my week.
And what else made your week? Something blimps?
Oh, you want to get to the blimps. Fine. Okay.
I'm sorry. That's the humorous thing that everyone can enjoy. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's make everyone happy before we make them sad. So, Here is the funny thing. Oh, crap. That's not the article. That's
a YouTube video.
So Trump is finally going over to the UK.
After being banned, like, what, 3 times?
Oh, he was banned from the royal wedding. They didn't want him to even come on foreign soil. People even started a rumor saying, the Queen can legally behead whoever she wants. They were saying as a joke, but I think a lot of people might not have exactly been joking.
I mean,
He's
it
not
might
well
be illegal. I don't
received
fucking know.
He's not well received over there.
Hell no.
To say the least. But a group of protesters have concluded the best way to protest Trump is, instead of making a big political show or attacking him on his policies, is just to take the piss out of the guy completely. So they have commissioned a giant hot air balloon shaped like a baby Trump, complete wearing a diaper, just giant orange blimp with a diaper and his hair. And they got all the permits in advance to have it exactly on the route where he's guaranteed to see it. And even if people try to move it, they got secondary permissions to tether it to a boat in the harbor on the route, so that zoning commissions can't move it out of the way, and the president's guaranteed to see it.
Well,
so
orange does make sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm hoping. We're all hoping to see him in that color.
So they're inflating a blimp to deflate his ego.
Yeah, a giant baby Trump blimp. Right when
Too bad they didn't fucking have one here on Wednesday in Fargo where he was campaigning for senator. Who the what's his fucking name? I can't even remember. But he's the one who's running against Heidi Heitkamp, who's basically a Republican anyway. So it's basically him campaigning for one versus the other, who are basically both for him anyway. And it's just a complete shit show, because now she's going to the White House to talk to him, and she's been in office for 4 fucking years. And
okay, so for all of our U.S. viewers, the important thing to probably do is check who is running in your local governor race for this year. It's going to be a big and important race to see who runs each of these states and who goes to Congress. I can't even remember
who's running for us right now because it's such a shit show in Minnesota.
Well, for me,
I know Palenti's trying again. I know that. And I'm not voting for that asshole. Fuck him. I remember what he did last time.
I know for Minnesota, the person that seems to be the most progressive in the race is Rebecca Otto. I looked over all of the Democrats' policies, and she is the most progressive.
I know the last time I voted for governor, I voted for that one Green Party dude, because I actually talked to him in person, and he was a pretty good dude.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of the Green Party. I just wish they actually could get proper representation.
Anything, you mean?
I mean, I voted for Jill Stein. I still have the campaign pin somewhere around here.
No, I don't have one of those. I didn't spend money on that shit.
I totally spent money to get a Jill Stein campaign pin. But yeah, I love the giant Trump blimp. I mean, if you Google it, you can find pictures of this. It makes me smile.
Too bad they can't make a giant balloon that's that one image that I saw earlier this year of Trump and Kim Jong-un with giant missile dicks doing a sword fight.
I like the one where they...
That would be great.
I like the one where they traded hair. that was funny. Yeah. But, okay. So, should we move on to... Okay, until we get to the bad news, let's go on to the story in between that. The one I originally found this week. And everyone's discussion on it. So, Sarah Huckabee Sanders was kicked out of a Red Hen restaurant.
We've heard this, yes.
Well, I know you've heard this.
Have you heard this, bro?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Okay.
Of course,
Didn't
we
know
all
that you
are.
were still there because you've been quiet. Sorry.
I posted it. You've all seen it. So the thing is that even progressives are completely torn on this issue because of the whole the gay marriage cake fiasco with the Supreme Court. So some progressives are saying, well, since we, think that gay Americans shouldn't, be, kicked out of a cake shop or be told that they're not going to be served there, that we also shouldn't be kicking out conservatives from restaurants because that's a similar issue.
Especially if those conservatives are going to a restaurant that is manned mostly by, I'm sorry to say this, but people of Hispanic descent. And why? Because of the current no-tolerance policy.
Yep, so there's a lot of more shades of gray with this. I remember getting into a discussion on Facebook with a friend of mine.
Facebook is the worst place to get into discussion with this. Second worst is Twitter. Because Facebook, half the people on your friends list. The Twitter, it's just random fuckers.
I have a lot of my old internet friends from back in the day on Facebook. This one in particular is my friend Chu from Canada, who is married to a man, so...
Totally can see where they're coming from, then.
Yes. So his opinion was that we need to be consistent with our beliefs, and if we think that the cake thing was wrong, that we shouldn't be kicking out conservatives, even if their policies are barbaric and they're keeping children in cages. I disagree with him because, frankly, I think one is a human rights violation. I think that they're apples and oranges, honestly.
It's a very, very complex subject, and we don't even have enough time, in the time remaining, roughly, that we could even discuss.
That's why that was the first one I wanted to bring up, was because I figured we'd have a lot to say on that particular issue.
I personally, I know, that it is a political decision to choose to kick motherfuckers out of your restaurant because their political ideals are against yours on such a level that that their very presence is just saying, we condone this. And that is what's going on right now with anyone in Trump's sphere eating anywhere. Them existing outside of their offices and going to a grocery store and buying food to cook at their own house. Them going to Chipotle, China buffet, wherever the fuck. Them eating in a restaurant and not just doing drive-through is saying we, at least in some sphere, semi-condone their policies. It doesn't necessarily mean that they condone them entirely. It doesn't mean that they agree with them. It just means that we know that if they just sit there and talk to nobody, that they won't offend people. But if they open their fucking mouths, we probably should kick them out.
Well, yeah, and that was the thing, is the Red Hen not only had a large Hispanic work staff, but also gay and lesbian work staff.
Ooh,
so a majority of their work staff really, really disapproved of the president.
So
and
you're
they
saying,
felt uncomfortable by Sarah Huckabee Sanders being there and spoke up to management.
So you're basically saying that this is the situation that happened. Let's just role play this situation. this is what happened. Is this Sarah Huckabee Sanders is sitting down, and I'm pretty sure that she's gonna be rude to us as staff because she knows that we're gay or whatever, and I might have to walk out for the rest of the day, or at least take my break right now. And then three other people said the same thing, and they're just like, fuck. Literally half my staff is about ready to walk out for at least until she's gone. What are we going to do?
Yeah, I mean, any of the people that weren't gay or Latino or Latina were probably in solidarity with their coworkers.
So it's basically an employee walkout was about to happen, so instead of that, they just fucking booted her.
Yeah. And, I mean, even the restaurant owner felt that way, but after finding out that her staff felt that way, just couldn't handle having this situation unfold. And just felt like it's time to make an impact and stand up for what she believed in, and asked her to leave.
And then it went so viral that Trump said something to the effect of, oh, by the way, their place is so dirty on the outside, it's horrible on the inside. And then what? How many
I'm
fucking...
glad you reminded me.
Yeah.
Because hilariously enough, Trump made a tweet saying, you know what I say, if a place is dirty on the outside, it's dirty on the inside, and talked about their awnings and canopies being dirty. So
and possibly health code violations.
Huffington Post looked into
whether or not
properties.
Whether or not you actually read the Huffington Post or believe that they're biased or unbiased or whatever, this is actual truth here that's about to be said. Steve, give it away.
It's a thing that happened. Huffington Post, whether you believe them or not, looked into this, and their verdict was Mar-a-Lago was cited for 13 violations last year alone, including undercooked fish and hot raw meat. Just days before Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe had dinner there. And
so basically, they were in such a violation of health codes that they probably should have been shut down.
78 health code violations in just 3 years.
78 health code violations. If your local Burger King had that many violations, there would be a major change in staff, and or it would be shut down for a period of time because of the fact that the food was unsafe to eat.
So yeah.
And this is the place he goes every weekend to go golfing.
Well, he doesn't go there to eat.
Well, he has to eat there, doesn't he? I mean, he's there.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
he'd get his food for free there because he's basically paying wholesale for it. But the point is, he goes there and invites foreign diplomats there to try to wine and dine them, and then gives them
food poisoning.
Yeah, and he's potentially giving them like meat that's been over the required temperature, which could result in food poisoning.
Bad refrigerators will kill you, motherfucker.
Yeah, it will. I mean, that's like poultry is
especially
one of the, poultry that's at the wrong temperature is one of the leading causes of salmonella. That and eggs.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, the other thing is that he charges people an exorbitant amount per plate at his fundraisers at Mar-a-Lago.
And where does that money go, Steve? Where does that money go?
Oh yeah, the best part about this, for anyone who doesn't already know this, is that Trump is draining a lot of America's resources through the Secret Service, who has to pay for golf carts, accommodations, and everything else through the government budget, which goes directly to Mar-a-Lago, which goes directly to Trump's profits.
So he is profiting from the presidency, like I predicted before he even fucking ran.
Oh yeah, he's making bank by going to Mar-a-Lago every other weekend. For anyone who's out of the loop of that. So people who are complaining that food stamps cost us so much in all of our
Motherfucking
national
Trump
budget.
has cost us more
Trump's
than
golf
food stamps
trips.
this year.
Trump's golf stamps have. He originally led the
Stamps.
golf stamps. Yeah,
Golf stamps. There we go.
Trump's golf visits have actually bankrupted the Secret Service, and they had to call a special meeting to get them funded further. And this was in his first year in office.
And this year ain't even done yet.
That being said, if you're a conservative and somehow by a miracle still watching, you should be pissed about that.
That's a lot
Because
of your tax dollars going to
just
him
took-
going on vacation.
Yeah, he takes all of your tax dollars to go golfing.
And yet you were pissed that Obama went like 7 times? 20
Yeah.
times?
Trump, in his
In
first
40
few
in 8
months,
years?
beat Obama's entire presidency's worth of golf trips.
Ugh. That is gross amount of
He's
money,
also
man.
on track for beating Obama's record of dropping bombs, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, F-bombs would be great because I would love for him to just to go on an entire speech where every other word was him saying the word fuck, just so that the person behind the counter that had the bleeps button would just have to sit there and keep pressing that button over and over and over during the live feed, just like beep, 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 because you know that shit's on a 5 or 10 second delay so that they can catch that shit.
Sir, we've run out of our bleeps budget.
That's what I was going into, yeah.
So I guess I should move on to the sad news at the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have sad news now.
I mean, you probably read it.
Are we
but-
are we going to have to like put the end of this video on YouTube just a bunch of fucking kitties so that they can feel better about the state of the world and the fact that we're not going to be obliterated in the next 24 hours?
I mean, look at our set. We're already there.
I know, right?
But here's the story. The bad news is we have another Supreme Court justice who retired during the Trump administration.
The only positive is that he's already a conservative justice, but he was one that did flip-flop and swing
Yeah.
vote.
He was a pretty moderate conservative justice who actually voted, against his party on a couple matters that concerned the Constitution itself.
Gay marriage, abortion. What else did he vote against? The healthcare thing was the third one that they really were mad at him about.
So, I mean, this guy was your old school conservative, one that, I could still have some respect for. I mean, that's
He
just
was a
the
John
thing.
McCain, basically.
I don't even have respect for John McCain anymore.
I have some for him, especially considering that
So-
he's being pissed off at Trump while dying of brain cancer.
Yeah, he served our country, he was a POW, and he goes against Trump. I can have some respect for the man, but policy-wise, I disagree with him on everything. But I'm just going to go on record saying this, since this is our first episode. I don't have contempt for all conservatives or Republicans. I actually have a few conservative friends, and we actually agree on a lot of things.
There's a
I have
lot
a
of us that have conservative
problem
friends that we agree with.
With a majority of Trump supporters. Because
Which
there's a
is-
huge difference between a moderate conservative who believes in conservative policies, traditionalism, and conservative values, and the things that Trump is supporting. Such as calling neo-Nazis very fine people.
Ah, yes, that line.
And that's just the thing about it.
And this
And
is
I'm
why
al-
we save the political stuff for the end, so that people can just skip it in the VOD and the podcast and whatever.
And yeah, I mean, that's kind of why I made that call. I'm aware this isn't everybody's jam, but it's not. The news segment isn't all going to be political. This was just a very politics-heavy week.
Yeah, and we decided not to talk about a certain elephant in the room because fuck it, that's not an elephant we want to get into right now. Especially since my wife's a fucking teacher, and anytime that there's any sort of shooting related. It
And-
makes
and
my
since-
wife have a fucking panic attack because she's a teacher.
And I have a daughter who's about to be in kindergarten.
Exactly.
This spring.
We'd rather not give ourselves panic attacks, therefore we don't talk about that shit.
Yeah,
On
it's not
podcast.
something to talk about.
So I am going to say our policy on that is we're probably not going to cover anything related to shootings for two reasons. One, because they seem to happen every other week in this country, and it's all the mainstream media actually will talk about. With gun control, this, two sides of the argument, nothing gets done. Everyone sees it's a big wheel. And for two,
And
because
you're all eating the vomit beans.
for two, the bigger reason is if someone is a shooter, 9 times out of 10, what they want is notoriety.
Yep.
The best way to deal with that situation is not to give them that. So my personal policy is never to say the name of a shooter. Most of them, turn the gun on themselves or are taken by police, sometimes executed. So I feel that people like that can die in obscurity. And that's the best way to deal with that entire situation, since we don't have the, ability to change policy.
It's a very good platform, and that is why we try not to cover that stuff.
Wow, we have 8 minutes left.
And also my glass of water's almost gone.
I'm like 5 drinks in and feel fine.
I feel fine too, it's just that I'm running out of water.
I may or may not be one of those, what do you call them? Alcoholics.
Let's see here. 1 second.
I mean, you guys see the
I
bottle
was
of
raised
poison
in a
on my desk.
brewery, and I turned out fine.
Yeah, that's
I was raised in a brewery and I turned out fine. Isn't that a line that you said last time we played Stardew?
Yeah.
I remember that. I watched the pod.
I mean, let's be honest. If you follow politics in this country, you're drunk.
Or you will need a drink to handle the existential crisis of knowing that we're about to be fucked.
I am just happy that the meeting with Kim Jong-un...
Did not result
Turned
in
out
the
fine.
instant World War III? Yes, I know. I'm glad that
I mean-
actually did not result in World War III. I'm glad that happened and we are still here.
Following up, our intel on that seems to show that currently he hasn't given the order to stop his nuclear program like agreed. Yet.
Well, we
There's
all
still
knew
some
that was
time.
coming.
I'm sure there's a timeline on it.
And I'm sure
And-
he's going to, find a way to just not do it.
I mean, yeah, it was mostly posturing, the two of them trying to get ahead of the polls. I mean, I will
Whipping
say
dicks
that,
out,
I will
measuring-
say this for Trump. Even though I do not like the guy and I disagree with all of his policies, I'll say this for him. Campaign-wise, he's smart. He has been campaigning for re-election since he got elected.
The man is a con artist.
And a con
Therefore,
artist
he
knows how to run a long con.
long cons are definitely his stratagem. Look at his business dealings. Look at the way that he's run his businesses, and
There
now
has
is running the
been
country.
maybe 1 week that he has not been in the headline
For some fucked up thing.
for something or another. I mean, the old adage of there's, no, all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his strategy, and he's executing it pretty well. So, and we know the Democrats, which are basically just centrist Republicans at this point, except for the progressive wing,
Yeah.
they're going to be completely surprised when he gets a lot more votes than anyone thought possible again. And I'm going to go on record right now saying that the reason that's going to happen is because he's been campaigning since 2016.
Well, that's,
His name's out
he's got
there.
a head
Everyone-
start. He's got a head
everyone
start
knows
just
who
by
the
being
hell
the
he
president.
is. Well, yeah, he's got the incumbent bonus. Plus,
And then he's been
in
campaigning.
Yeah, he's been campaigning. He goes someplace almost every week to speak to people, and he's been...
This week he's gone to Fargo, North Dakota. He's been in Wisconsin. He's been in one other place. I can't remember where. Next week I think he's going to fucking Great Falls, Montana, and a couple other places. So he's basically doing 2 to 3 campaign quote-unquote stops, mostly for himself, and then occasionally highlighting the local Republican that is going to be running this year. And
the good news is that most of the Republicans that he's backed have lost.
Thank God.
Oh yeah, that whole side note of it.
The bad news is that one of those Democrats that won was basically just a moderate Republican in disguise.
Yeah.
And basically just agreed on most of the stuff that the Trump-appointed one would have anyway, but...
I don't know.
Except
neither
for being
here nor there.
slightly less Nazi. Yeah.
So, for anyone who doesn't know what progressives are all about, here's the
Bernie Sanders.
Okay, the basic philosophy behind it. The right wing has gone far right. But the Democrats, they've been, for the past, 50 years?
At least 20.
Edging slightly to the right to try to court the moderate Republican voters.
To try and get more votes.
And since it's a two-party system, and they've been doing that, America's gone further and further to the right. To the point where... what is that site called? The Political Compass website, which is fun to take that test if you've never done it. Actually,
on the VOD of the YouTube side, I'll probably have some sort of a link in the description. I'm sorry.
Yeah, probably a good idea. But Hillary Clinton was only maybe 2 or 3 ticks away from Donald Trump to the left. But they do things on an XY axis. Trump was very far to the right and very far up on the authoritarian portion, and Hillary was like 2 or 3 ticks down and to the left of Trump, which was still in the authoritarian right quadrant. Bernie Sanders
was dead center.
Yeah, was like dead center. In America, someone people are flat out calling a communist, even though that's completely inaccurate, is basically a true centrist. Well, the Democratic Party is to the right and pretending to be centrist. And in every other country...
They actually have fucking liberals and conservatives.
Yeah. Like, in the UK, you have the Labour Party in one. We don't have that in America. We have the Green Party, but it's a 2-party system, so the Greens tend to just take votes away from the Democrats, and they kick them out of debates and everything.
And they arrest them for, doing what every regular citizen should do, which is protest, and, shit happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why, I absolutely love Jill Stein.
Oh, yeah.
She's under prison stripes, come on.
Jill Stein and Bernie Sanders are 2 of my, personal heroes, which is why I'm doing this whole thing to begin. Yeah. I know politics isn't everybody's jam, but it's important and it affects us all, especially issues with net neutrality, like's going on right now.
Yeah, that is the only reason why that hasn't completely and utterly bogged us from being able to do this in the first place right now is because there's 1,000 lawsuits involved and nobody's doing anything until the lawsuits are done and they know whether or not they can actually do anything.
I mean, let's be honest. We're in the world of Shadowrun, and the only time anything gets done or purposely gets filibustered is when the corporations get involved and have conflicting interests.
Well, yeah.
So Trump got elected, and he personally appointed Ajit Pai as the head of the FCC, and Ajit Pai was getting paid a lot of money to kill net neutrality.
And he used to be, what? Like, one of their head lawyers for who? Verizon?
Verizon.
Whom, unfortunately, I have to have because of certain coverages and shit, because of what fuck he
after Trump gets out of office, Ajit Pai will probably go straight back into being a lobbyist for Verizon, get a high-paid position there. That's what we call the revolving door policy.
And that's been happening for a while, too. Thank you, 1980s.
Yeah, all of this stuff has been happening since the Clinton administration. Clinton was
you mean
first...
Reagan?
Okay, Reagan's a whole different bird, but...
A whole different dick bird, yes.
Okay, let's get on to the history of all of this nonsense. Reagan started Reaganomics, which gave all of the money to the rich with his trickle-down philosophy, which, to be fair to Reagan, most of his rich friends were philanthropists. So he thought, well, all of my friends donate a lot of money to all of these charities, so it will go down. But he was really stuck in his own bubble when he did that.
He was naive as all fuck.
So he meant to do the right thing, and also, to be fair to Reagan, in the time that he did this, it worked out okay. And it did temporarily stimulate the economy during his administration. However, everyone past him took his policies to the extreme, and then we get to Clinton eventually, which is where things really kind of screwed the pooch. Clinton was the first thing we call a neoliberal, which was basically his domestic policy was incredibly liberal. Stuff like pro-gay marriage and whatnot, even though I'm not sure Clinton himself was at the time, but he had a liberal domestic policy while sharing the same foreign policy with the Republican Party and the same financial kind of planning. So he repealed a bunch of laws that kept the banks in check, and most notably the media company. So all of the media companies were able to become a monopoly.
Like Fox News.
They're not exactly part of the big one I'd talk about. But like
no,
CNN,
but
MSNBC...
it helped a lot of them actually grow and become and whatever.
Yeah, but what most people would call the liberal media, quote-unquote, for conservatives, are all under one banner and owned by one person through a bunch of, paperwork and bureaucracy. But they are all a monopoly. So whatever the boss says goes, and they report on whatever they want to say. Which is the other reason we're doing that. It's just so the truth actually gets out there.
Or as close to the truth as we can possibly discern from what little we actually are able to find.
Yeah.
But, so he allowed that monopoly and repealed a bunch of important stuff. But that was the start of when all of the Democrats decided, hey, let's go center-right. We'll court the moderate Republicans and try to get them into the Democratic Party and, give high positions to all of our best fundraisers. And that worked well for the rich. He kept the same 1%er idea that Reagan had while still appearing like he was a good guy, a liberal. We love people. We want our people to be happy.
We want to help the poor and the disenfranchised.
Yeah. And most people, right or left, I know, would still say Clinton had some charisma. He seemed like the kind of president you want to have a drink with.
He's also the kind of president that you would want to fuck, because that's a lot of what he did.
Which got him into trouble.
Yeah.
But Clinton
Slick Willie.
Clinton was the first one to really start the policy of neoliberalism. And since Clinton, every Democratic president we've had has been a neoliberal.
You mean all one of them?
Yeah. But and that's kind of the problem that the Democratic Party hasn't learned, is that when you give people the choice, between a full-on Coca-Cola or
New
Diet
Coke.
Coke.
Or Diet
New
Coke or
Coke.
whatever.
People are gonna pick the Coke. So you go Republican Light, and everyone's gonna be like, well, why the hell don't we just pick Republican and see where that goes? And it's been doing that ever since. But they can't decide to just pull a hard left.
And
So
become
they've been-
Pepsi.
Yeah. They haven't pulled a Pepsi, so they've been going consistently more towards the right each and every election. And
Also, this is a great time for you to take that note of Coke versus Pepsi for your video that you're probably going to eventually do. That's basically the same discussion, but, you know, in a graph or whatever.
But
I mean, I'm drinking rum and Coke right now, but you know what? Go Team Rum.
Go Team Rum, yes.
Let's say
will
rum
make
and
everything
Coke
feel
is the
better.
center. Equal parts rum, equal parts Coke. That's center. So what we gotta do...
It's become more
guess.
rum. We
Yeah,
gotta
that's
get
what
drunk.
I'm saying. We gotta just go, like, all
Shots. Fuck
Yeah.
yes.
So what I'm saying is, if you follow politics, you need a lot of rum.
yeah, pretty much.
Thanks.
I'm
the easiest way
hoping
to
I'm
go.
hoping that was a good enough explanation of neoliberalism and what we're doing exactly.
You did your best, man, and that's all you can do.
It's a huge topic, and a lot of internet comedians like Lee Camp, Jimmy Dore have all explained this a lot better than I ever could, and I encourage people who are actually interested in these topics to check out their YouTube channels.
Oh man, yeah.
But I mean, just the breakdown with that.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're trying to do is set up a little bit of a liberal resistance here to the main corporate
for 30 minutes to 45 minutes of our podcasts. After all the fun gaming and, you know, entertainment news, we have the regular shit. The let's look at this apocalyptic wasteland that we actually live in and talk about it.
Connecting this back to the main part of what we do is, even though they haven't made a big move on the net neutrality thing, because people are watching them like a hawk, but eventually, maybe even once Trump's out of office, they're gonna do something to screw us all. And they're further trying to retract our internet, our rights and privileges on the internet with another bill coming up right now that we have to fight on. And as gamers, a lot of us are PC gamers, and even those that aren't,
They still use the internet for fucking
Yeah.
everything.
So that's just the thing. As gamers, this is important stuff, because they are trying to take away your rights a little bit at a time so you don't notice. And that's what I want to make people aware of.
You're fighting the good fight, Steve.
Yep, fine, good.
And that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Also, hilarious that my current background music for the stream is Mustin's The Atomizer from Final Fantasy VI, which is basically the end of the world in Final Fantasy VI remixed while we're
Okay.
talking about this. That's fucking hilarious.
Let's just be honest. If this were Final Fantasy VII, we are fighting Shinra.
If this were Final Fantasy VI, we are fighting Kefka, and we all know who's... Steve, wasn't it... Back in 2016, weren't we basically saying that the election was a fight between Sephiroth and fucking Kefka? And we got Kefka for the fucking winner, right?
Oh my
That was
God.
exactly it. You know what Sephiroth is going to do if he gets in office.
But we don't know shit what
We have
Kefka's
no
gonna
idea
do.
what Kefka will do.
He's gonna fuck shit up pretty bad, but we don't know exactly how.
And I was like, nah, we don't know what Kefka's doing. And you're like, dude, Kefka succeeded in destroying the world.
Well, we got
That's
Kefka
what
as
I-
president, so...
That was one of those few times that you got me to shut up
Yeah.
on that one. So what I'm saying is we have a giant clown in the White House right now who's trying to destroy the world.
Pretty much.
But
Thank you, Kutsu. Of course, we know what Kefka will do. Light of Judgment, the infidels. Well, yes, that's what the wall's all about. It's about the walls and the whole immigrant thing. That's all Light of Judgment. That's all Kefka. That's what he's gonna do, and the repercussions of the Light of Judgment we'll just have to figure out later. Whether or not half of the southern U.S. is going to be an irradiated landscape because he's going to nuke them, fuck if we know.
so that makes Disdonn Cloud. I have a feeling since I'm the big dude, I'm Barrett.
And then
So is
bro
Tim
dude is Sid.
Tifa?
Yeah. No, he's Sid. He's sitting there smoking a cigarette like, I'm going to join you, but fuck it if I ain't going to just sit here and look cool doing it.
Man, Sid is the best character in every Final Fantasy game.
Pretty much.
I mean, except for 4 where he's just like, I'm a dwarf and I'm going to blow myself up. Fuck it.
I
Boom.
liked that Sid.
He was
I was
cool,
actually-
but he definitely didn't have a lot of purpose. Sadly.
I mean, yeah, he had a couple of good moments.
So when's the next time you have to do anything? Because we're running a bit long, but I have nothing else going on.
I gotta start supper in a little bit. It's sort of anniversary supper for me and my wife. We got steaks and onions and stuff like that. So we're
How
gonna be
long
doing
can we
that.
run? Like 4:30?
4:30
I actually
tops,
probably-
yeah.
I actually need to kind of get going in a little bit, so.
Well, yeah, we'll probably.
Can you do
we'll
4:30?
We'll do
We
the
gotta
No,
do
wind
something
down
around.
here.
I
We'll do the
cannot
wind
do
down
before
here.
30.
We're gonna do the wind
Well-
down here, Steve. It's fine. If Tim
All right.
if Bro
all
needs
right,
to
Tim,
go,
if you need
it'll be
to
me and
duck
him.
out now, you can, and Disdonn and I can finish this up.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for showing up, bro. We'll hopefully not take all of the time talking next time. I know that you're still kind of new on the let's talk about things, but your segment was still fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is technically for canon purposes. This is a negative episode. This is not canon in any way. We're still figuring our fucking shit out. This is episode negative, whatever the fuck. When we figure out
I mean,
how far we start our actual canon, it'll probably be
Well-
episode 10. Fuck it.
we
Probably.
kept our basic structure, sort of.
We went on a billion tangents.
Okay, but we knew we'd do that.
Oh, yeah, of course. All right.
Kutsu says Fox News is the cultist tower. Well, yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And now your child is showing up to bother
Oh,
you
yeah,
after
you heard that?
2 hours and
Yeah, we
15
heard that.
minutes. That also tells me that 2 hours is about the rough amount of time that we can keep your child occupied.
Yep. But
Yeah, she's watching Sophia the First. She's good.
Anyway. So,
See you later, bro. Maybe,
yeah.
maybe we'll see you for Friday the 13th later tonight.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
I mean, if I'm not in a booze-induced coma, I'm definitely in. I'm sure that downloaded by now.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
at like 87% before the show started, so it's gotta be done.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And all you've been doing is just talking on Discord. You haven't been actually streaming this shit, so.
What, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah. I know, I really actually need to do my own streams, but
Wow, I've dropped 123 frames on a audio / single fucking background image
Yeah, I
in
know.
2 hours
What
and
the
15
hell
minutes.
what the hell is with
I'm a
OBS
guess.
lately?
I'm a guess that is no. I'm just gonna guess that's my fucking internet because the other day we had a storm that dropped my internet for like 7 hours.
I don't know, I was having some OBS problems.
Oh, I
That's
don't
the
have
main
OBS
reason.
problems. I've got mine optimized to the point where it don't fucking matter no more. I drop
mean-
less than 10% of my frames.
Okay, well, since we have time, I'm gonna plug myself a bit, I guess. The
Go right
main
ahead. I'm
re-
gonna take a leak. You
the main
talk for
reasons-
like a minute. I gotta take a leak.
Well, the main reasons
Too much rum.
that I don't stream even though I want to and have everything set up, reason one is that I've been having some problems with OBS during all of my test runs. The other reason is, well, sadly, as you're going to find out with Disdonn in the toilet, is that I don't do so well just sitting here talking to myself. So, if anybody wants to add me to Steam and find out which games we have in common. My Steam name is Nevitz K, which is just Steven spelled backwards with K. And it should have a picture of a Magikoopa on there. Find out what games we have in common. And I have a Discord, which is the Tabletop Steve Discord. I'm sure I can talk Disdonn into plugging that for me. And so anyone who's in his Discord can add me on either of those, and we can play games, talk on chat, and then I'd be happy to stream whatever we have in common. I don't do much.
I know.
Ever.
You're a
I'm
stay-at-home
so
dad, and like
lonely.
90% of the time you're just wrangling the child because the child wants to... I mean, I was not that child, but your child wants to literally cling to you all day, every day.
Well, here's the funny thing. You met me in college, so you know that I can be introverted Rorschach man, super weird levels of...
Go fuck
You know.
yourself.
Yeah, I'm kind of it's weird. I'm friendly but standoffish in person.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, oh, this isn't interesting. Bye.
It's
just
called
wander
you're
off.
probably on the spectrum. Which
I
is hilarious because that just means that I'm the only person who's not on the spectrum on this podcast, which is, I mean, inclusive as fuck. I mean,
well, I mean, yeah.
my brother's on the spectrum. You're probably on the spectrum. There's a chance my
Probably.
wife's on the spectrum. It's like, fuck. I'm surrounded
I
by people.
scored, I think, 40 out of like 43 points on an online autism test. So
I'm literally the most extroverted person you know. And how are we friends now?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Travis might be more, but I don't know. Can we have an extrovert contest?
No.
Is that a thing?
No. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to be that loud.
But yeah,
My wife's in the other room.
I'm not sure the two of you actually met.
Me and Travis, I think we met once. For all of 5 seconds while he was
Yeah,
en
that's-
route somewhere.
Well, that's the problem. He's in the Navy, so when he's actually home... Oh yeah, he re-enlisted again.
You know, because that's what you do. You keep re-enlisting until you wind up either dead or in the VA with horrific injuries.
Well, and there's an example of one of my conservative friends that I have. He's one of the most conservative guys I know. And the reason he says that he's going back into the service is Obamacare. So to cover that, funny thing about Obamacare is that it was actually, like, Obama wanted it to be a lot more liberal than it was. But
He
the Republicans
basically
kept
wanted it
voting
to be
down.
universal health care, but they eventually found something that's even worse.
They kept changing it until it was essentially a Republican healthcare bill that was gutted and doomed to failure, and they did that so that he would pay a political price.
Well, isn't everything that we do these days a political price?
Unless the Democrats do it, because they never hold Republicans accountable for anything or try to make them pay a political price for anything.
Also, thank you, Nightbot, for finally fucking working after 2 hours.
But
He
let's
decided
just
to start
say-
doing the timer shit.
I'm just going to say this about the Democrat. Let's say, hypothetically, you want to rig a boxing match. Do you pay somebody to really beat the living crap out of the opponent, or do you pay the guy you want to lose to take a dive?
You'd pay for the dive because it's a lot cheaper and easier.
That is the Democrats in America, in a nutshell.
They're taking a dive!
Which is yet another reason we're going far right.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a decent test of things. I mean, we went a little bit over. We're not too bad.
I went a little bit more extreme and emotional than I thought I would.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, next time we're probably not going to have nearly as much. I mean, just because it's all out there, we're fucked up. We're a little bit buzzed here, but I mean, all cards on the table. This is a good pilot test. We went a little bit over our allotted time. I'll probably have me and or my brother edit some silences and whatever, and figure out what the fuck we're gonna do for background music, if any.
I thoroughly enjoyed this.
There's a chance that I just upload what we have for the
if
YouTube
it were up to
version
me, we would do this once a week.
Oh,
if it were up to me.
I don't have that option as far as work and stuff, but
Well, what are your Sundays like? But I mean, it falls.
What
under
are my
Bro,
Sundays?
yeah.
What are my Sundays like? Every other Sunday, I'm working a 13-hour shift.
So okay, so that's why we're doing it like this. Is
twice a month at max right now until things get better, and then maybe we can do it every week. I don't know. I know most podcasts I listen to are twice a month or once a month. So, I mean, we're on par with a lot of the things that I listen to. I know there are others that do more. But yeah, this was a little bit of a test. We're gonna do gaming sort of stuff because we're all gamers, all three of us. There's gonna be some entertainment, news, things. I mean, we right now there's not a lot going on in the Star Wars sphere of things. There's not a lot going on in Star Trek.
Oh, there is.
I mean, there kind of is slightly.
I mean, I'll explain.
I know that they got the Galaxy's Edge thing.
Saw Last Jedi.
Wait, because of Netflix?
Yeah.
And you've watched some of my fucking crack vids, right? So you've seen the scenes that are my crack vids, right?
I saw like one or two of them, yeah.
So now you kind of understand why we were making fun of those scenes?
I also see why, with the whole nostalgia critic thing,
that it was so divisive
why a lot
as
of
fuck.
people were making a hell of a lot of Star Wars related jokes.
And why they were saying, the Star Wars is dead and whatever. But it's also...
that wasn't part of the Channel Awesome controversy.
No.
Rob Walker, when he left Facebook, posted a picture of the Jedi tree on fire.
I mean, yeah.
So, one person I watch on YouTube, the social injustice warrior, Vianfuso, he covered that whole Channel Awesome controversy and made a ton of Star Wars jokes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in my top 5 Star Wars movies, it's probably number 3 or number 4 behind. I mean, behind Empire and Rogue One, because those are literally the most Star Wars movies, and then Last Jedi is as close to Empire as you can get with the new guard. It is basically saying, everything that you learned in the first one in Force Awakens, fuck it. Fuck everything. Fuck it all. We're going gray. We're going to the point where there's no difference between light and dark. The only way to go forward is balance. And you know what? That is actually the only way that the Star Wars series can go forward is balance. By finding a way to make things relatable to now, where everything is so fucked that light and dark, there's no difference between
here's
them
the deal.
In some ways.
How I see it, The Force Awakens was A New Hope. They're clearly following a formula of the original Star Wars movies. So this was the new Star Wars Empire.
This was basically them saying, okay, remember this thing that we just did? Fuck it. We're throwing it out the window. We're going to do something slightly different. And everybody's going to be pissed at us. And then, and we're keeping the roots, but everyone's going to be pissed at us for all of 5-10 years. And then this is going to be their favorite from this trilogy. Fuck it.
Well, I mean, let's see here.
Because I remember...
Empire ended on a down note, with Han being taken away by Boba Fett, Luke losing his hand, finding out Vader's his father, etc. It was a down for the series, but it was the best Star Wars movie. I mean, I don't even think that's up for discussion. Almost every Star Wars fan says Empire best movie.
Empire is the best fucking
So you
Star Wars.
saw that ending there. I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah.
It's been fucking 6 months. Spoil away, man.
So, how many Rebels are left? 14?
Yeah, there's literally 2 dozen
you,
at tops.
You see some.
They're all
little
aboard
kid.
the Millennium Falcon, and then you got this kid who's out in bumfuck Egypt, basically a slave, who's
using
apparently
the
got
Force with a broom.
basically saying that yes, there's a bunch of Force users just waiting for a new Jedi temple because Luke obviously failed. That is basically what this movie is about. This is about the last Jedi. This is about Luke's failure as a teacher. He only succeeded as a teacher to Rey insofar that she stole his... Did you see that little nod at the end where she pulled that... She pulled open that thing. All the Jedi texts were there. She fucking has them.
Said she knew it anyway.
She has everything she needs to start a new Jedi Order. She knows that the light side and the dark side are basically the fucking same. She knows that the only true way is to be Bendu to be Grey. The only true way is to go forward in the center, to join and to balance. Because if you go too far light, you become cynical. You go too far dark, you become a fucking Imperial soldier. Edgelord. You saw in that fight scene between where Rey and Kylo, Rey and Ben, where they both fought for the same goal, and you know what? They kicked so much ass.
That was my favorite scene in the whole movie.
They kicked so much ass that it's like, if only they could ever actually join forces and get rid of this light-dark conflict and find a lovely utopian medium, the galaxy would be saved.
And that was the whole point with Luke and Yoda. Luke's like, we gotta burn the text, and Kylo says, let the past die, kill it if you have to. And
Yoda's
then Yoda
like...
sets the whole bitch on fire because he's fucking Yoda.
Yoda's just like, fuck you.
Yoda
you can't
just
do it,
like,
I'll do it.
Whoa, motherfucker! Boom.
I love Yoda.
Yoda's the best character in the entire freaking franchise.
Yoda basically gave Luke's whole fucking storyline in one speech where he's like, all this time and you're still looking at the fucking twin sons like you're that little kid on Tatooine. You're just so into yourself and so into your own naive ambitions that you can't see what's right in front of you, that the answer's right here, and you never could fucking get it. And that's why these kids are going to surpass you.
Oh god, since we only have 3 minutes, you know what would be really fun?
If Luke and Kylo fuck?
No.
I mean, if Rey and Kylo fuck?
They might be setting up for that, but you and I should actually do just a thing one day, just talking about this episode, because we both do have, well, so much information, and there's so much politics involved in Star Wars. Different factions, different opinions. And I mean, get your bro in on this too, because him and I talked about this.
I know. That's why people are so pissed off about Star Wars right now. Because
it
it's
is
literally
political.
a mirror. It's a mirror to what we've got right now. It's a mirror to our current situation, and no one wants to admit it.
I mean,
to
I know
themselves,
we
and that's
curtailed it,
why.
but they did admit that the New Order is basically a representation of the alt-right.
Well, yeah.
I
And
mean,
you got a fucking ginger running it. You got a fucking
canon.
ginger run. You got a fucking ginger running the show.
Okay, but it's canon. J.J. Abrams has said this.
Yeah.
And, I mean, whoever... I'm not entirely sure who did this second one, since they can J.J., but...
It was Rain Johnson, and he was he was in independent
took it
stuff
and
before.
ran with that concept.
Oh, fuck yeah. He did... he did so much right, but that's the thing, is so many people saw it as wrong, because from a film... I used to be in animation. From a filmmaker's standpoint, Last Jedi was a feast. There was, outside of the plot, which there were holes, yes, but
They did a
cinematically,
lot wrong,
visually,
I will admit
visually and cinematically on that Roan, oh my god, it was eye orgasms for
I agree
days.
with you there. if you turn off your brain and ignore the plot holes, the movie was great. It has lightsaber battles, space battles, shit blowing up everywhere.
And almost every scene is shot so perfectly for the rule of thirds. You have people looking in the right directions. You have cuts in just the right spots. You have all of this information visually that's coming to you that fills in the blanks of so much story, like that lovely little cut at the end where you see Rey opening the drawer and you see the books for all of a fucking split second that fills in a plot hole about the tree burning that you didn't even fucking know existed, and then it was boom, it was done. And then you got that lovely little bit where Kylo's looking down at the fading fucking dice at the same time that Luke is fucking fading from existence because he's becoming one with the Force.
I loved the dice.
It was just so much symbolism and I could go on and I'd probably piss off Cap so much just orgasming over that because he's such a Star Wars nerd that it's like, dude,
whole hours about the new Star Wars and I
just Last Jedi. If
here's
you
the
include
fun
Force
thing,
Awakens,
though.
it's 4 hours.
Here's the fun thing though with that is you and I kind of walk in different circles, even though we mostly agree politically on things.
Oh God, I've got.
You're more you fall more towards the SJW wing, but I know a lot more people that are in the anti-SJW type movement, and a lot of people who just absolutely panned this movie. And when I finally saw it for myself, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Oh, dude, my one friend, Cap Blackard, runner of Nerdy Show Network, one of the head guys of State of the Empire, works for Consequence of Sound. He hates Last Jedi. Like, Last Jedi to him
fully
was.
Encourage you to get him.
Oh, if I could, but his schedule is fuck all. I don't even know if I'd be able to get him on. But if I would. I'd love to.
I can make time.
I'd love to.
I can always.
I'd probably alienate the fuck out of him. But no,
but,
like
I mean,
he treated
I'm
Last Jedi like most Indiana Jones fans and fucking Crystal Skull. That's how he thought of Last Jedi. Is just like he barely can even find anything good to say about Last Jedi. Like, and I admit there are so many faults to Last Jedi that I can admit.
Well, here's the deal.
Faults.
The writing
it's definitely
was the problem.
7. It's a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Whereas Empire was a 9 out of 10. But
9?
You know what?
Okay, I'm going to be more generous. I thought Empire was 10 out of 10.
Empire had
I'm probably biased.
A few spots where it got long. There were a few spots where it was
Empire. I don't know. I can't give it anything less because Empire was my childhood.
Oh, Empire was part of my childhood,
my dad agreed on. He showed me those movies, and I was hooked.
Like, dude, I admit, Empire is one of the best movies that's ever done. But I am a former film student, former animation student. Very few films will get a 9 or get higher than a 9 out of me. I am not fucking kidding. Like, Godfather is one of the few movies that I can say gets a 9.5. Nothing that I've seen gets a 10.
Ian,
Nothing.
Have you watched? I want to see your opinion on Citizen Kane, since that's pretty much
seen
universally.
Citizen Kane. It is
that's
a
almost
9.5.
universally a 10 out of 10.
It is a 9.5. It went on too long. It dragged.
Oh man,
that is my negatives on it. Everything else, fucking amazing.
I should make you watch some of the terrible, terrible movies that I watch.
Dude,
and we should introduce
Friday Night Fan Fiction
1 out of -10 scale, so you can see some of the films that I routinely watch for fun.
Oh god, The Room -10 out of -10, but
it's called the Citizen Kane of bad movies. Speaking of which, I totally mailed my dad that for Father's Day.
You told me, and
yeah,
God, I want to know his opinion.
I do too. I need it.
I want to know what he thinks. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times, and every time I
love The Room.
Dude. One thing that we've got to do one of these days is we've got to set up a Rabbit.tv or something and rewatch with me, you, and
Dylan.
Tim, and maybe Dylan, Six String Samurai, drinking game,
I fucking
review.
Dylan hated that movie.
What?
Dylan hated Six String.
Oh man, I'm.
That made me so
It's
sad.
still one of
That's
my favorite independent movies of all time. It is up there with Repo and
Yeah. Oh, I love
fucking
Repo.
They Live. It is up there on the independent movies of all time. Kung Pao is
man.
also up there somewhere, but
Oh,
it's
I love
more of
Kung
a
Pao.
it's more of a niche. Kung Pao is definitely more of a niche
Kung Pao is
movie.
just funny. I mean, if it wasn't, it was a terrible movie. But
Yeah,
the comedy, it made me laugh.
We are definitely diverging so bad.
I mean,
but whatever.
I don't even give a fuck anymore. But I'm having a blast.
Dude, yeah, this has been a fun thing. We gotta remember that we gotta have a 1 or 2 drink minimum next time for sure. 'Cause
Hell
that
no.
always helps. That always helps.
Okay, you can have a 1 or 2 drink minimum.
I said minimum. There's a reason why I said minimum. It means you have to
so
drink
there's a
1 or 2
maximum.
drinks. There's no maximum. It's 1 or 2
Okay, no
drinks that you.
maximum. I'm good.
Exactly. You drink 1 or 2 drinks, and then we're a little bit loose, and we talk a little bit more and a little bit better, because I know that you and my bro are a little bit more, less talkative
Yeah,
sometimes,
that's
unless you
just
got a
the
drink or
deal.
two in you.
Yeah, your bro is the most quiet of us, which
He hadn't had no booze.
That is a hard record to break with me. For anyone who doesn't actually know, I'm not even sure Kutsu knows this, but like,
Loosey-goosey, yes. Yes,
yeah,
Kutsu.
I in person barely talk at all. I know
Unless
I seem
we get you on your 3 big topics, which is Monster Hunter, Magic the Gathering, and politics. Then you're just
Oh man. Oh, there are other topics.
There's a
but-
few others, but those are the 3 that come to my mind right away.
Well, yeah. Anything tabletop games.
Yeah.
You get me on D&D and we're there for hours.
No shit. You're
Oh,
talking
God,
about
fucking
all these campaigns that you had
Shadowrun.
back into fucking high school, man. I remember some of the ones that you talked about where you ascended into basically godhood. Because you got a good roll. You got a good
in the clink, man.
You
That was
got a good
over-
roll against fucking convincing gods to bed you or something. I can't remember what the hell
dude.
happened, but it was fucking
What
hilarious.
happened was that we beat the campaign, which was an awesome campaign. There was this prophecy with this kid who became a warlock, who was being courted by this Baylor Lord, a big deal demon. And I guess the prophecy ended up being false. My freaking brother ended up sniping the thing with a natural 20, killing the
Your
Baylor
brother Mark,
Lord.
you mean?
Yep. Split the thing's soul. 2 members of the party got that. But then he kind of dropped off the face of the earth because he's got his own personal in-life issues.
And he wound up going off to bumfuck Sandstorm to fuck up some people, yeah.
Well, but then my uncle was a member of the party,
Went to jail.
and my buddy Davin, who I guess no one here knows, but my terrible attempts at streaming, he's been a pretty consistent member of my crew.
Dude, Davin is good. Davin's good people. Most of the people you know is good people.
Oh yeah,
I had them over. We all
I
were
have
over
pretty
at my
sweet
house and
frickin'
fucking sat on the floor and played Boss Monster. Fuck it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. We're all nerdy as hell, so my people became your people, and you're still in Fargo. You should give Davin a call and be like, "Hey, come do some shit with me."
I would if my schedule weren't so fucked up, man.
Same with Bo and Tyler. All of those dudes,
Yeah.
they're
right
good
now.
people.
Right now, most of my hours when I work for the last 6 months has been everybody's either at their own job or asleep when I'm awake.
I don't even know what happened to Cody. He dropped off the face of the planet.
I
still see him on Discord, but
I see Facebook
my
posts from him
introversion.
once every 20 fucking months. But yeah,
Cody posts memes.
pretty
And
much.
I always try to like his memes. Oh man, yeah. My brother trained me in the ways of the nerd, and then I passed that on to Cody. now it's his turn.
The way of the nerd. We
But
must
he has been seduced
present
by
it
the
to our
PUBG. He has been seduced by the PUBG.
Seduced by the PUBG.
But, oh god, man, yeah, we have had some good times. So yeah, with that story, like, they killed the Baylor Lord way freaking early, so I had that party introduced to my original high school party, with Vayne, the original Lich King, and Jack, my favorite D&D character ever, who's basically the Joker, except a bard.
He would be a very good bard.
Oh god, yeah. Jack, mastermind behind fucking everything. He's the reason the Lich King ascended to power and took over half of the planet. But Jack decided to work on some crazy-ass experiments and opened a portal to the Divine Realm. Because my uncle's character was like, well, I've killed all of the most powerful warriors on the planet. I need a challenge. So he opened a portal to the gods when they hit 20th level, and he killed Hercules. And then Davin's character, who is a demon, a demon artificer, so he builds magic items and conducts crazy-ass experiments, had a rifle that sucks out souls. So
He was a Ghostbuster.
Davin sucked out Hercules' soul, and my uncle ate it, and became a god.
Nom.
After that, they went on a slaughtering spree of the entire Greek pantheon.
They basically God of War'd that shit.
They Conan'd that shit. They literally turned all of their women, all of the goddesses, into sex slaves, and ate the souls of all the men, and became the dominant dark pantheon of the universe.
That is some fucked up shit.
Yeah, it was funny. David and my uncle brought a millennium of darkness to the universe.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find some way to do some of this shit in the future, and I know at some point we're gonna have to do.
I'm the DM. It's like, what can I actually do about this? Because I wasn't expecting him to, suck out the soul of a god.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the logical conclusion? Well, what happens when you eat the divine soul of a divine being? I'm guessing godhood and your 20th level, so...
Fuck it.
Shit. So the most evil thing, though, is that Jack also became a god.
There's a chance that some of this might get cut from the VOD, but whatever, yeah.
I mean,
We're
yeah,
kinda
you
just
can.
rolling here.
I'm kind of pimping myself. This is literally my jam. Like, what's my YouTube name? Tabletop Steve. I talk about tabletop shit. I need to make more videos and actually podcast and stop being a motherfucker, but... I play D&D and D&D accessories.
I play D&D.
I tell you what.
I tell you what. Neither of us can do it nearly as good as Mr. Carney.
Mr. Carney, oh my god. I wonder what
he
would happen.
does not have
our
a Discord.
Now,
what if you turned that on its head and made a tabletop talk about Steve? Oh god, no. We need to do a tabletop talk about Steve at some point, yes, but that'll be like a microsode or something.
Okay.
Thank you for sticking around, Kutsu. You're awesome.
Fun fact about that is that it's actually my fault Mr. Carney has a Facebook. Not sure you knew that. Elias and I, when I still talk to that motherfucker who ruined my life...
I like how that's your adjectives for him. That motherfucker who ruined my life.
Well...
there's only so many people who could have that sort of distinction.
Well, two people who had that distinction.
Exactly.
But I digress, and that's related to the first. But we both had English with Mr. Carney, and
eventually I did too.
Yeah, but we were the first. So we were like, hey, you know, everyone's on Facebook nowadays. It's this new big thing. Because this was 10 plus fucking years ago.
Do you know what he's been posting on Facebook mostly lately? Have you seen some of his posts about his hobby farm that he does?
Oh, he always talks about the hobby farm. I love it.
Have you seen? Did you see his lovely post the last time when he got new trees?
How he set his closet on fire.
No.
Oh my god, you missed the best post he ever made. So I was thinking we did crazy shit in college. What with the vodka flashbacks? I'm not going to elaborate. You remember some of the nights we had, the karaoke where you drink like 3 pitchers of beer.
That was 3 pitchers? Fuck! I thought it was only 1.
Like we were splitting them, but you were just going nuts. And
now I know that I should have been dead.
Like it was like 2 or 3, I think. My memory fails me because I was drinking a lot too, but we bought a lot of pitchers that night.
Back when my liver was still functional.
Yeah, I know. We're just waxing philosophical about the past here, but yeah.
This should be included in the beginning where we're talking.
Crazy.
This should be included in the beginning where we're talking about how we know each other.
I mean, okay, it's us. Do we do anything straightforward? No, we work back.
Kutsu, buying pitchers does equal drinking them. We drank them, right, Steve?
They were empty, and...
They were empty by the time we left the bar. We're kicked out of the bar.
I honestly
We were kicked out of the bar because the one thing I do remember is you telling me that I threw up in the garbage, and then the bartender said, "You're cut off, you guys gotta go home."
I don't even remember how we got home.
I think your girlfriend was the one sober enough to drive my car back to your house.
God, is that what happened? I just remember she was there when we got back to the house, and we had to reposition you on your side so you would survive and not throw up on yourself.
Circumstantial evidence, you just says.
But back to Mr. Carney. So I thought we had some crazy stories. He bet one of his college roommates that he couldn't live in the closet for a month.
Oh, God.
And he literally had like a little campfire like in a tin or something. And he set his closet on fire. And it was in the news. There is evidence about this.
Oh, God, really?
Like, I mean, I knew Mr. Carney was cool, but holy balls, he did some fun stuff.
Well, I mean, as I was saying earlier about the whole... He won the bet, yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah, I think he did win the bet, but... Or they called it off because he, like,
lit the fucking closet on fire.
But, like, that just floored me out of nowhere. Like, yeah... Out of every teacher I've had, I respect him the most. He was like an awesome teacher.
Yeah, he's the proverbial
balls, though.
Yeah, he was. He's the proverbial single teacher. He's never really dated anyone as long as I've known him, and he's definitely not getting married or having kids. So that leads into my whole, have you seen his Facebook posts lately? Because the last shipment of saplings he got for his hobby farm, which is Christmas trees, which he grows and sells, he got a dozen saplings, and he has pictures of himself like having a bottle with the pine tree sapling in his arms, like swaddled like a baby, feeding the sapling and bottle
that's
like a baby.
The thing is, like, I don't know how Mr. Carney never like found somebody, because he is awesome.
It's probably out of choice because of his lack of drinking at this point, because of alcoholism.
I guess, but if you talk to him outside of the school setting, he's an awesome dude.
I know. He probably just refuses to because of reasons at this point, because he's pushing 60 and he's like, fuck it. I've been single so long, why bother?
I don't know. I think he's just shy, honestly.
Yeah, he is very introverted. very
But-
introverted. Him and Mr. Nicholas are like best
Oh
friends.
yeah,
as
he
far
was.
as I
He
remember.
was.
And I feel
awesome.
bad for Nicholas. You didn't hear? Did you hear? My wife went on the Paris London trip back in 2012.
Is that the one where
Right
she
before-
got pickpocketed?
Yeah, back right before I did my little stint in the clink for that 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, the bitch
yeah.
that ruined your life.
Yeah, the bitch that ruined my life, why I wound up in the clink, and I'm not even going to
We're
speak about
broken
that.
people. Woo!
I'm not going to speak about that at length right now, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, shortly, like that fall, apparently his wife left him. After,
Oh yeah, you told me.
yeah,
that.
and it's like,
Sad.
yeah, because like literally that's all that he ever freaking talked about in class was his wife, and it's like, dude, like, and I don't think he's found anyone since. So like him, Carney, and God, I'm trying to remember the economics teacher right now. Fuck. Mr. G. I'm trying to remember his last name. Booze and Time are fucking with me right now. But he's just dyslexic. I'm trying to remember his name. But those three have been like kind of a clique in the Fergus College for a while now, and they're more of a clique now that they're all single.
Yeah,
But,
I loved most of my professors back in
Yeah.
college.
Fergus Falls College was definitely had a lot of cool teachers.
Yeah,
Remember the married
surprisingly.
couple the married English teacher couple? I don't remember their last name, but they were heavy pot smokers, and you could tell.
Oh God, yeah, my wife had both of them.
I did
why
too.
can't I
And
remember
God,
when
they were
they
so stoners. Thank God we can't remember their name, because if this ever actually becomes a big episode, they'd probably be thankful. But yeah, this is the pilot negative episode. We've gone way over our time limit. We've gone like almost a half hour over, for sure. Almost
And I
an
don't
hour
even give
over,
a
actually.
and I don't even give a shit because I'm having a blast.
I know, so am I. But I got to start supper here. I will be back for sure in 2 to 3 hours for some Friday the 13th. Whether or not the two people who are with me 2 minutes to keep going till 2 minutes to midnight. That's another 6 minutes for me. Well, then fine. We'll go another 6 minutes for you, Kutsu, because
I mean, I would.
midnight and Dutch time. Fuck it.
Like, okay, you guys, like, seriously, I have nothing going on ever.
I know.
I'm probably just gonna play Shadowrun and sober up until
Until I
you
try
play
and
Friday
drag
the
you in.
13th.
Until I drag you in to play with Shale and Beefy and company. Speaking of which, 1 second. Okay, never mind.
And this is gonna be fun because this is my first time ever playing that, and I just bought it for the express purpose of playing with you guys.
Oh, that's why we're gonna do a couple. We're gonna do a couple rounds beforehand. Don't worry.
I'm hoping that there's an opening to actually do this.
Oh, there should be, because usually at least one person doesn't show up.
Now
Usually.
Now, since you're friends with the Grammar Club already, I am hoping you eventually somehow make friends with MC Frontalot.
Dude, we have talked about We
that
have
is
talked
because
one of the
that is
times where it's like
squad goals, my friend.
Beefy's like, God damn it, why can't we get Front or anyone else that we know on this? And they're just like, scheduling. That's like 90% of the thing is scheduling. Because do you follow either Front or Lars or Ran on Facebook or Twitter? They're on tour all the time.
Okay, Megaran would be another pretty good one, but like, okay, if you told me the only way I could talk to MC Frontalot would be, okay, you gotta wake up at 4 in the morning
and play this game on
and play
stream.
this obscure, like, $30 game, I'd be like, I don't care what it is, buying the game, waking up at 4, I'm gonna meet Frontalot.
I mean, yeah, but Beefy's still fucking... Beefy's Hall of Fame of his own. You know Beefy, right?
I mean, I think... No, Beefy wasn't in chat that one day when I was in chat for you. God, one of the guys was, but it wasn't Beefy because Beefy...
I think it was Shale or Sean.
Yeah, I
but
think it was Shale.
Beefy's... You've heard some of Beefy's stuff, though.
You showed me a bit of their stuff, but...
Yeah, Beefy is one of, like, top 5 nerdcore for sure.
But
I
still,
love that in his one of his newer tracks, Hall of Fame, he says, "I could rap the Kama Sutra, but all y'all just want missionary." I'm just like, fuck yes, that is
funny.
you, motherfucker. Because he's also got Food Court Pretzel, where it's all verse. There's no chorus. It's like 3 minutes of just him spitting just rhyme after rhyme after rhyme, talking about current events and nerdy shit, and
I
it's just
feel
like holy fuck.
I feel like I could have done that back in my heyday.
Before you became even more fat. Sorry to say that, but
So I am noticeably FAT.
Noticeably FAT. Yes.
This is why I'm the ogre-looking motherfucker in the picture.
Yup. Ogre-looking motherfucker behind the desk.
That's the funny thing, is that none of your people have seen me on cam because we don't have cam
yet. We will debate whether or not we will do that. Literally, it's me and two versions of dwarf. One bigger than the other, and one is red-haired.
Now, one of these days, I'm gonna eat Tim and absorb his biomass. And we're gonna fuse together into one really big nerd.
You'll be fucking Majin Buu of nerds, yes. Not Kid Buu, Majin Buu.
Yeah, Fat Buu. But yeah, Tim is gonna hear this one day and be like, "Motherfucker, you not eating me."
Yeah, just wait until he watches this part of the VOD. Be like, fuck you guys, I ain't being eaten.
He's just gonna be like, "You guys just got really drunk and went off on tangents. I thought we were doing a thing, guys. What the hell happened? Am I the only sober motherfucker in this?"
Probably.
Yes. Okay, this went a little different than I'd planned, but I'd say pleasantly surprised.
Alright. That has been 3 fucking hours to midnight. 2 minutes to midnight. We'll try and keep the same similar format where we do the non-political stuff first, and then we'll do the politics near the end, and then, I don't know, fucking forget that we were even going to end for an hour and whatever. But,
well, yeah, the original plan was that we'd have a designated hour. Each of us got 20 minutes to bring our articles, and then
maybe have an interview.
The last hour would be if someone's in chat and they also have our Discord.
They can come and talk.
They can, yeah, come on Discord if they want and talk, or we just talk to chat, or whatever.
I know at some point we might just have to move to live stream open access so that way that can actually happen, because I don't know how to fucking drag people in here besides us.
But yeah, since, I mean, it's our first one, so we went a little long, but
that's why it's not canonical. We'll start the numbering once we get this format figured out.
I don't even give a shit if it's canonical, honestly. It just, like, yeah, the whole second half is just bullshit.
Us dicking.
Just us hanging out and doing what we do.
But I will eventually get a hold
of a lot of rum
on
my front.
I think it's only like 3 or 4 shots worth out of my weird bottle of Coke. So
I just opened this thing and I'm.
Is it almost gone, Steve? Why is the rum gone?
No, it's not gone. I have plenty of rum. I made it down from the top to that first check mark. It's just above the label now.
So basically, you drank a quarter of it.
In like 2 hours.
A fifth of rum. Okay, we'll call it. We'll call it a fifth of rum.
And the
is it
hilarious
Captain
part,
or is it Sailor Jerry's?
This is Ron Diaz.
Oh,
Ron
God.
Diaz, we would be very happy if you were to sponsor us. I drink your product often.
I would prefer Kraken, but whatever.
Tell Ron Diaz
We're going
that.
over time. It's all wrong. I'm sorry,
Don't tell
Kutsu.
Ron Diaz that.
Don't tell
They're
Ron
cheaper.
Diaz.
They need spokesmen.
Don't tell Ron Diaz that I drink Kraken. Okay.
I mean, we all prefer Morgan or Kraken, but Ron Diaz has had our backs.
When we're broke as fuck, Ron Diaz has our backs.
We're millennials.
We're always broke as fuck.
Yeah, okay. That should be their slogan. Rondias, we know you're broke as fuck.
All right, that has been this podcast. This has been me, Disdonn, my buddy Tabletop Steve, Frosty the Nerd. My brother was on earlier. He had to go duck out early, and then we kind of got drunk and diatribed, but whatever.
So thanks for everyone who watched the whole thing, which I think is Kutsu.
Yeah, thank you for everyone who's watched the whole thing, Kutsu, and everyone who's been in the auto host from Drex. Thank you guys. Anyone who watches this on VOD, thank you, thank you everybody who's watching this on YouTube later or listening to the podcast version on wherever the fuck we decide to put it. Thank you, Kutsu.
One day I'll learn how Twitch works.
One day you'll learn how Twitch works. One
day.
Thank you to everybody. If you want, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/DisdonPlays. If you want to, monthly, a couple bucks our way to help pay for booze costs or whatever, bits in my chat, whatever. We'll figure out. We'll figure out how we make money from this eventually.
Yeah,
for now, nobody gives a fuck.
Put a note or something saying it's specifically for this if you liked it.
And then we'll do
Since
more.
Because we're using Disdonn's Patreon specifically for this and have no idea how we're splitting it.
We have no idea how we're doing anything until we get more.
But the other guys weren't quite in it.
Clop lock.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
we'll figure it out. But yes, I will be back at least in a couple of hours for some Friday the 13th. We'll probably be joined by these lovely people who've been on here, as well as members of the Grammar Club: Shay O'Reilly, Sean Alshon, Ty, Tanner, Beefy, the usual crowd, possibly Captain Waffles.
I am gonna try to become Jason and demand they bring me front a lot.
Well, be careful what you say. Just saying. But no, just don't be chill. Be chill. Don't.
Okay, I'll be chill. I mean, you know I will.
Just try and get to know these lovely people first.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
I know. But
they're awesome.
But seriously, dude, meeting front a lot. Bucket list.
I know bucket list. Bucket list stuff. Eventually, we'll get around to that.
I'm sure it's on your bucket list too.
Dude, I would love if eventually we got enough notoriety where we could whore out their latest album for whomever on our podcast thing. Don't worry about that. But thank you guys.
I just want to meet front a lot. Really
once again, and we will catch you later. In the meantime, I'm going to where the fuck is that song?
Fine, I will consent to leaving and go back to my dumpster for the time being.
You're going back to the dumpster? Why?
Because that's behind the studio, and I live there.
Okay. Well, we will exit then. Fine.
Fine.
But society's in ruins. Fuck it. See you later, guys.
There's free McDonald's back there.
Okay, go eat your free McDonald's from the dumpster.
That shit survives apocalypses, man.
So do cockroaches. You'll have to fight them.
I'll eat them too.
Rad roaches will fuck you up, man.
Barbecued roach. They're the lobsters of the land.
See you guys.